Welcome to the program. Happy Friday, everybody. That was a fun game. Didn't work out the way Warriors fans would expect it. I'm laughing my ass off at the chat. It's on fire. We should have a fun show tonight, even with the Warriors losing. The one massive concern, at least from my perspective, is the health of Wardell Stephen Curry. Hope he's okay. We'll provide you with an update on that as news circulates, but it was a valiant effort, and there's obviously things to critique here. Steve Kerr continues to be out of his damn mind with the minute distribution. There are one or two players on this team that just have no business, playing unless you just don't give a shit about results and, future progress and things that typically matter on the pathway to success, if that's the goal. With all that said, the Warriors lose a game that was close, 131-124, I believe the final. Yes, that is correct. And we're going to break it down. The professor, Armando Lara, is going to join us in a bit. But yeah, until he does, it'll just be me. You're stuck with me for just a few moments. Forgive me. I apologize. Let's talk Warriors. And then you have folks like Rex Stone saying this isn't Carey's fault. I like that. Stevie Carey. But get rid of Pods, buddy, and Kuminga. Good start. Look, the reason why Stevie Carey does not get absolved is because he keeps giving minutes to those damn people right there. It's in his control. Why do you continue absolving him for giving these two, Podziemski and Buddy Hield, is what I'm pointing at on my screen, minutes? Why do you ignore the person who gives those guys minutes? Stop absolving the head coach. Stop pretending he's not a huge part of the problem. There are two guys that were playing, I thought, exceptional tonight. Moses Moody and Gez Santos. You know who was missing down the stretch of this game in the fourth quarter where the Warriors were routinely keeping it within 4? Moses Moody and Gez Santos. And Kerr did that so that he could give Podziemski minutes. Now, if you want to gripe about Draymond Green, that's an interesting debate because you could make the argument he shouldn't be out there either, even though tonight his three-point shooting is the only thing that kept the Warriors in this game. But don't absolve the coach who is responsible for who plays. That's asinine. We're going to talk about this in great detail again. The professor, Armando Lara, will join us shortly. It is Friday. Ryan Leong might join us from Chase Center with time permitting on his part. And PG4M laying it on the line here in terms of what's wrong with this Warriors team and what could possibly fix it. Trade Podziemski. Did you folks see him moping when he wasn't playing the fourth quarter? This guy, look, again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. The irrational confidence, it's something you'd rather your players have than don't have, but you got to have some damn self-awareness too. Don't pretend just because you believe you can do anything doesn't mean you should be bitching when you're not getting the minutes. It doesn't mean you should be talking shit like you're somebody. Stick to the effort and abide by your coach's decisions because your coach is already playing favorites with you. Hamza Kassem saying that he's going to crash out on Podziemski. I agree. It's maddening. The Podziemski minutes are maddening. Again, we could have a debate about Draymond Green. He's done too much for this team and this franchise for me to villainize him, especially when this team has much more glaring issues. Why was Gez Santos not in there in the fourth quarter in those pivotal minutes when he almost single-handedly kept you in this game? That's the part that frustrates me. Why was Will Richard not getting pivotal minutes late? Anyways, we'll talk about it. The professor is going to join us shortly. I'd like to welcome welcome to Erica Hayes, who's a new Golden Dazer. Thank you for the support. Also, you became a YouTube member or Golden Days or twice. Erica, congratulations. I don't know why it shows that you did it twice, but double the pleasure, double the fun. Let's talk about it. It's Friday. It's happy hour. We got the professor joining us shortly. Ryan Leon's going to join us shortly. You folks are going to join us shortly. We'll play some sound from Chase Center. We'll hear what Steve Kerr had to say and what other players approach the podium tonight. Riz is asking, how do I become a Golden Dazer? There's a link in every YouTube description, with the exception of like this very moment. You might have to go to one of the previous shows, but we put a link in there. I think there's also a link right on our main YouTube page, but appreciate you if you support us. And again, one of the biggest perks of being a Golden Dazer is you get access to our interviews before everyone else, and your chat comments are highlighted. So I'm not going to miss it. So if you're a part of the live and you support the show, I mean, it's a small sacrifice from you, and that I will endlessly appreciate and be grateful for. You help keep the lights on, so thank you. We are eternally grateful and thankful. So that's how you do it. Let's get into it. We are powered by FanDuel. The program, it's called the Golden Days. Let's go. Beautiful. I got an email from Ryan Leong letting me know. Oh, the pregame presser. Okay, he published that on his Twitter account. Okay, and Ryan again will hopefully join us in a little bit. Welcome to the program. It's called the Golden Days. I am your host for the evening, coming to you live from the Golden Days studios in West Sonoma County, California. You can follow me on Threads and Instagram @DogWild. Over on Twitter, my handle is @SurfJournalist. The program on both platforms at Golden Days Pod. And I mentioned a moment ago that we're brought to you by FanDuel. I highly doubt that there will be a line for the next Warriors game which is going to be, looking at my phone right now because I have a wallpaper with the schedule. And next up, the Warriors have 3 days off after this. They're going to play the Philadelphia 76ers. More specifically, they're going to host the Philadelphia 76ers. And what I'm confident about is that there won't be a line for that game, given it's 3 days out. This is a nice reprieve that the Warriors are going to experience here in just a moment. But some other happenings going on in the world of sports that you could bet on with FanDuel. For starters, the Super Bowl, where the Seattle Seahawks are currently 4.5-point favorites to beat the New England Patriots. Me personally, I'm leaning strong towards that New England plus 4.5. I don't know if they're going to win outright. The money line for the Patriots plus 194, the OU 45.5. And one of the nerdy things about me is I love tennis. I played tennis growing up through high school. And right now the Australian Open is going on. And side note, one of the cool things about FanDuel is you could do live betting. So what I did, again, if you're a tennis junkie like me, is when Zverev and Carlos Alcaraz were playing in the semi, and Alcaraz was down 5-3 in the fifth set, and FanDuel was giving its members plus 350 odds to bet on Carlos Alcaraz to win the match outright. I think that plus 350 which is 3.5 to 1 odds, was available early in the set. You will rarely, if ever, see odds like that for Carlos Alcaraz to win a major match. Pounced on it, and I appreciate the plus 350 FanDuel. And you folks can enjoy odds like that as well. Carlos Alcaraz and Novak Djokovic are going to play in the Aussie Open final late tomorrow night, early Sunday morning here in the U.S. And Alcaraz is a heavy favorite, minus 320 in that one. Novak Djokovic aiming to pull off the old man upset. I think him and Big Al Horford are about the same age, maybe a year separates them. Djokovic plus 255. Just some odds available for you, courtesy of FanDuel. But tonight, the Warriors, they faced a good team for the first time in a long while. A team that almost shockingly lost the night before at Phoenix in a game that was not close. I think the final score in that one was 116-94. It was a game where the Pistons were anemic as a shooting team. Their bench did not make a single three in that game. I think the team as a whole was something like 6 of 29 from deep, somewhere in the low 20% range shooting. So in a lot of ways, the Warriors should have expected a team that was bringing in some added desperation, even if they were a little exhausted playing in Phoenix the night before. This Pistons team is good. There's no doubt about that. The record indicates it. A lot of big wins this year indicates it. But the Warriors, for what it's worth, put up a damn good fight in this game. In the third quarter, they trailed by 20 and yet made a comeback. And that comeback started because largely of two, maybe three players. One was Moses Moody. And I did not ignore those threes he was draining with the team down 20, not giving up. Again, that prevented this game from being completely carried away and turning into a blowout by the Detroit Pistons. And so Moody hits some clutch threes in that third quarter, finishes the game with just 11 points, but did shoot 50% from deep, 3 of 6 shooting from beyond the arc. And then Gez Santos, who I think is deserving, if the audience does not object, to the FanDuel Player of the Game honors tonight. 7 of 9 shooting from the field, 2 of 3 shooting from deep, added an assist and a rebound, 2 steals and a block, and what I thought played valiantly tonight. I don't understand, again, why he was not featured in the fourth quarter of this game when he was one of the only reasons this game was even close. More specifically, in the fourth quarter tonight, Gez Santos, he did play 8 minutes, 34 seconds in that fourth quarter, but he did not play in the pivotal final stretches. That makes me kind of have to backtrack a little bit. I did not realize he played that many minutes, but in the fourth quarter of that game, now I got to look up the specific details. I don't have the play-by-play in front of me. I'm pulling that up as we speak so I can find out what exactly happened late in that game in terms of substitution patterns. The lineup that I witnessed the Warriors rolling out there, which ultimately was the curtain call on any hope of a comeback, included Podziemski coming back in the game. Draymond, who did not have a good fourth quarter, and I thought defensively struggled, but he made a lot of threes. We'll talk about that in just a second. That did keep the Warriors in this game, but Quentin Post was largely ineffectual. He missed a ton of open shots in this game tonight. Buddy Hield was getting large stretches. When those shots were falling in this game early for Buddy, it was great. It looked like a smart move. When the shots stopped falling, it looked like a bad move. And so he was out there for these pivotal moments. What I'm looking at specifically, there was a stretch in about the 4 or 5 minute mark where the Warriors were trailing by just 4 points in this game. And with this 5:46 remaining, the Warriors trailed, by 3. It was 117-114. Pat Spencer was getting a run, and he was playing great basketball. I don't know why he got subbed out. Buddy Hield was not playing good basketball. I don't know why he was in the game. And then Gez Santos, for whatever reason. So Gez Santos was in there for the good parts, and then he got subbed out at the 3:52 mark. Still just a 6-point game for Buddy Hield. So that's more specifically what I'm referencing that I noticed that made me go, what is going on here? Like, Steve Kerr made these substitutions with the Warriors fighting with 3:52 left, where Buddy comes in the game for Gez Santos. Yes, Buddy Hield comes in for Gez Santos. Why? I hope someone asked Steve Kerr that tonight. Pat Spencer got taken out for Draymond Green. And I'm thinking, okay, I get it. It's Draymond. I mean, I don't know if you want a disgruntled Draymond after the game going, why the hell was I not brought back in? I'm one of your best players. D'Anthony Melton was fantastic again. We're going to sing his praises, but I don't get the Podziemski minutes. I just don't get this irrational faith that Steve Kerr has in him. Podziemski in this game tonight played 28 minutes, 18 seconds, had 0 first half minutes, finished the game with 11 points, did have 8 assists. So again, in that category, he was doing okay. But in a game against an elite opponent, if you're curious where he ranked in terms of total minutes and who are the top minute getters for your Warriors tonight, Draymond Green led the team in minutes with 33 minutes and 1 second. Second, Brandon Podziemski, 28 minutes, 18 seconds. And that's where, if you're going to get the minutes, you better put up the numbers. Oh, I see the professor now joining us. Armando, are you ready to go? Give me a hand signal if you are. You are. Okay, good. Let's bring Armando on. And as it is Friday happy hour, I was just breaking down, Armando, a fourth quarter where I did not understand. Like Moses Moody, for example, in the fourth quarter played just 3 minutes and 9 seconds. I did not understand that. I didn't understand. I should have been, to be more accurate in terms of my critique, I did not understand why Gez Santos did not finish the quarter, because when he was in there, the Warriors were within, at one point, a single possession. But then Steve Kerr pulls him out with just under 4 minutes remaining. We don't see Gez again, and our FanDuel player of the game isn't in there to help them. But Brandon Podziemski is the guy that could do no wrong by Steve Kerr standards. Al Horford, by the way, had a very slow start to this game, a good second half to this game. That was clearly not enough. Trayce Jackson-Davis, you think if he's going to get a run in any game, this one would be it against a big, physical Detroit Pistons team. But Trayce Jackson-Davis gets a DNP. So we do not see him at all. Quentin Post lays a total egg out there in his minutes. Moses Moody, I thought, did his part. Again, shooting 50% from three. Al Horford got in his 23 minutes and 18 seconds was just 1 of 4 from three, but did grab 7 boards and had 13 points in this game. We're going to talk about the Stephen Curry injury in just a second. Steph led all Warriors scorers tonight with 23 points, was 4 of 10 shooting from deep. But again, he comes up hobbling. We don't know. I could not tell initially if the injury was something to do with his quad, with his knee, but he looked tired. And this Pistons team, and especially Ozzer Thompson's defense, was causing some havoc on Steph. Will Richard only played 15 minutes and 9 seconds. I don't know why his minutes were limited in a game where I thought his athleticism, his length, his size was desperately needed. And then DeAnthony Melton, one of the best players on this team, one of the few bright sides on a consistent basis for this Warriors squad, played 25 minutes, 31 seconds tonight, 7 of 13 from the field. Was just 1 of 4 from deep, but did well in most other categories. Second on the team tonight, scoring with 18 points to go with 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. But we bring Armando Lara into the show tonight. Let me change my overlay. How the hell are you doing, brother? I know we only have you for about an hour or so, but while we have you, give us your recap and tell us how the hell you're doing, brother.
I'm doing good, man. Can you hear me, Si? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So the Detroit Pistons, how bad are the Pistons, man? Here's my question, chat. Would the Detroit Pistons even make the playoffs in the Western Conference? They're they're the number 1 seed in the East. What would they be, the 7th seed? They literally lost to the Suns last night, and they can't even close out a go home in a body bag program Steve Kerr team.
And they lost the night before in Phoenix, and they got their asses kicked.
Yeah.
Armando, I've been saying this for weeks now. The more we watch the season unroll itself, the more I look at the East and just think that is just a G League plus. Like, that is, the Eastern Conference is a joke of a joke, half of an association, whatever, of a conference. It's bad, man. You're right. The fact that Detroit's easily the best team in that conference doesn't reflect well on the 15 teams on that side, man.
No, they're playing a G League Warriors team. Are you kidding me? DeAnthony Melton is our primary ball handler. That's our guy. Like, he looks good. Think about that for 5 seconds. DeAnthony Melton is a primary ball handler on an offense in the Western Conference playoff hunt. That's where we're at right now in 2026. So, they can't even close that out. Are you kidding me? What a joke. The Eastern Conference is it's really sad. It's been like that for a while now. You could barely put away a team that's playing Podziemski. Are you kidding me? In the fourth quarter?
And I think Kev F, by the way, nails the Pistons pretty accurately in that they just don't have shooting besides Duncan Robinson, and that is their biggest issue. I would agree with that. They just don't space the floor well, man. They have all these really big physical dudes, athleticism, bully ball, but outside of Duncan Robinson, man, they got nobody out there that puts fear in you. Which is why I would say see if he'll bite for Buddy.
Crazy.
Trade Buddy Hield to the Pistons. I don't know what you can get back. It's got to be an improvement no matter who it is, right? Like, I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
They should go all in for Giannis. They should go all in for Draymond. They should go all in because they have a chance to actually make the finals this year. And, you know, everyone's all impressed with the Celtics being, what are they, the second or the third seed? Like, oh, the Sixers are playing well. Like, it's a joke of a conference. Like, the Miami Heat have a chance to make the finals from the 8th seed.
Well, Philly, the Philadelphia 76ers, who are coming in town on Tuesday, are suddenly a dark horse in the East because Joel Embiid has found the fountain of youth. I don't know what the hell is going on with him, man. He's suddenly like looking good again. He's playing heavy minutes. He's putting up these massive stat lines. It's like the Joel Embiid of old is back. And if that's true, that Philly team, it could be dangerous. But you're right, dude. There is nothing in the East that is threatening. And I wholeheartedly agree with I go rot discovery. I hope I got that right saying. And I've been saying this as well. I've been saying this for like along with my absolute beatdown of the Eastern Conference. I'm ripping them a new one for good reason. I've also been echoing this sentiment, which is that if the Warriors were in the East, this current Warriors team, I'm talking like right now, like even if Kuminga stays DNP'd for the rest of the year and you're rolling with this shit, you can still be a contender for the finals. It's insane. It's lunacy. That's the East for you.
How about this side? Any team that in the East that trades for Jonathan Kuminga will have a legit shot at making the finals.
Yeah.
And it really does. It's limiting where the front office of the go home in a body bag team is limiting where they can trade Kuminga because they don't want to trade him to an East team that's around the playoffs because it'll be embarrassing, and they can't trade him to a West team. There's only like 4 teams are willing to trade him to. So it's really limiting what's going on here because it would be absolutely embarrassing to watch Jonathan Kuminga have a playoff run this year. It is. It would be. Jonathan Kuminga got a standing ovation after demanding a trade. He got a standing ovation from the home crowd. Think about that for 5 seconds. Like that does not go unnoticed. That has literally never happened in the history of the NBA, as far as I know. Like that is an unprecedented situation.
Yeah, and Giannis, I've been saying this repeatedly. From every report out there, from putting all the pieces together, from talking to a lot of folks, trying to get an update. I rarely, if ever, get leaks. The Warriors themselves don't leak shit. So usually when you get these reports, it's primarily agents talking and or other teams who are not as good at keeping shit under wraps as the Golden State Warriors. But Giannis, come on, man. It's the San Francisco Bay Area. It's a chance to team up with Steph.
Come on, do it. Do it. Do it. Come on, sweetie, do it.
Okay.
Do it. Do it.
Just do it. Just do it, Giannis. Do it. Just say yes. That's, to me, this is what it comes down to. Where does Giannis want to go? Now, the downside is if Giannis Antetokounmpo is watching this game tonight and he sees Steph hobbling around like that, it's probably giving him pause in terms of considering whether or not he wants to play for the Warriors, even though, in my opinion, he would thrive in this system. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
You know, we were talking about this, and the mainstream media seems to believe that. And is it okay if I talk bigger picture here, Sai?
Say whatever you want. Yeah,
I know the game just happened. Is under the impression that for the Bucks, if they wait until the offseason, it would be better for them. I actually, and that other teams have better draft picks to trade them, like the Thunder or I don't know who. I don't know what they're looking at. The Bucks, if I'm a Bucks fan and if I'm a Bucks management, the best thing I could possibly do is get as many Warriors draft picks as I possibly can right now. Like the Warriors, Steph Curry's 39 and he's already hobbled. I mean, as you know, Chad, a month ago I was saying he was getting knee injections most likely. Like, this is just the culmination of all that. It's going to get worse. Honestly, the best thing as a Warriors fan, you're watching the injury reports and you're like, it wasn't a career-ending injury. He's actually just out for a few games. Like, that's where we're at as a Warriors fan base. Like, we're just rooting for not career-ending injuries for Steph Curry. It's coming. Not yet, anyways. And, Sai, like, think about this. If they don't make the trade now and Steph Curry does have a career-ending Achilles, career-altering by the end of this season playing hard, are the Warriors then going to want to trade for Giannis in the offseason?
Well, and just to add to that, Armando, I don't think the Warriors have a shot at Giannis if this thing goes to the offseason. To me, it's now or never. Because if you let this thing go to the offseason, you're suddenly opening doors for a lot of other teams to decide they want to get in now. Like right now, for whatever reason, again, the Houston Rockets are absolute idiots if they are not on the phone with the.
But here's what I'm saying is that the Warriors won't want to trade for Giannis in the offseason if Steph Curry's out for another year because they went home trying to make the play-in.
Yeah.
It's not like Steph Curry's going to stop playing hard. He's always going to play hard. He's only thinking about the next game, as I talked about many times. And, like, if I'm the Bucks, I'm doing everything I possibly can to get every single Warriors draft pick. The Warriors draft picks are worth gold. They're not going to be good because they're going to try to win with a 38-year-old and a 31-year-old on a 13-year, go home in a body bag Dwayne Wade type career. And I'll talk about that more, what we've seen from Giannis recently. He is injury prone. If I'm the Bucks, man, oh boy, do I want a tank. I want empty salaries, and I want 4 or 5 Warriors draft picks.
Well, the most they can get
will be the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander stuff all over again with the Thunder. You can literally start from scratch. It would be excellent.
The most they can get is 4 because that's how the math is lined up. You can only trade your own picks every other year. They could also pull off 1 pick swap, and the reason why it's limited to 1 is because of how few picks Milwaukee has, right? Like if you're going to do a pick swap, you have to swap with the other team. And Milwaukee has virtually no draft capital. So they only have 1 year where they can do a swap. So that's the max you can offer is 4 of your own picks, 1 pick swap, and then some young assets, right? Maybe Jimmy Butler plus Kuminga plus Podziemski. That's the offer, right? And then it's up to Milwaukee whether they want to do it or not.
My guess is, I mean, you have more insider information than I do, Si. I mean, my guess, reading the tea leaves, is the Warriors are offering this year's draft pick, which is enticing because they might be in the lottery.
Not if they get Giannis, though, and he's healthy.
Yeah, but that's why they're offering it. They won't be in the lottery. So, and then next year's, presumably they're going to go for it next year. And then as an asset for Giannis, and then another one to get off Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy Butler is now one of the worst contracts in the league, and you have to send out assets for that distressed asset. So they're probably offering 3, and the Bucks are asking for 4. That would be my guess. And they're both. It's a game of chicken. They're going to wait till the end. But what we also don't know as a Warriors fan base is the offer Jonathan Kuminga, Draymond for Giannis plus picks. Or is it Jimmy Butler for Giannis plus pick?
I would guess Jimmy Butler is what I'd guess. I could be wrong, but
I don't. Actually, we thought about it and we can't figure it out because based on what we're hearing from the some of the media that's connected to Steve Kerr, they have
commies
that Jimmy Butler is going to come back and be a guy that they're better with Jimmy, and they're just going to go for it next year and punt.
I can promise you this, Armando. The front office is not delusional where they think, oh, we'll get him next year. Like they're not. That's not what they're thinking. When it comes to Jimmy Butler, they're just saying the right things. They're saying things that mostly are indicative of showing respect to Jimmy, right? Like he could easily be traded tomorrow. The reason why, to me, and this is just my take, it's just a take. It's not like not a statement of fact, but my take is Draymond is traded only if the other team is demanding it. Like, in other words, if the Bucks are sitting here telling the Warriors, we'd rather have Draymond's contract than Jimmy's, we're only doing this trade if you give us Draymond and not Jimmy, yeah, then I think the Warriors would make that hard decision. But if it's irrelevant. If Milwaukee's like, look, we're just doing this to make the salaries work, and Jimmy Butler after next year is going to get off the books regardless, then I'm comfortable in saying that it would be Jimmy traded and not Draymond, mainly because we already see how much this franchise bends over to make Steph happy. He wants Draymond to stay. It's someone that it's a Stephen Curry pick is what it comes down to. But I could also be wrong on that, but that's just me reading the tea leaves and trying to figure out what's going on. We also have an update from Steve Kerr regarding Steph's knee injury. Let's take a listen to what the head coach of the Golden State Warriors had to say. And Armando, we can hear you, by the way, just because you're only off the screen for a second, but your audio is still up. And if you have anything you want to say or utter,
you hear me vomit?
Yes, we can. And here, this is a short soundbite. It's only about 17 seconds. And here is Steve Kerr giving an update on Stephen Curry's knee injury. It is a knee issue, and let's hear how serious it is, if at all.
I think he's okay. I don't think it's anything major, but we'll have an update tomorrow.
Is that something bothering maybe even going into the game a little bit?
Yeah, it was the knee that kept him out of the game in Minneapolis, and so it's been nagging him, the last week or so.
Oof! Yay! What a sell for Giannis, huh? Hey, Giannis. Look, I know he's turning 38 and he's now missing games because of the knee, and you've got a coach who there's no chance in hell you can trust in terms of your role with this team. But come on, buddy. Come on. We still want you. We'll do anything for you. Except we won't really, but we'll do anything for you. But we won't make promises we'll do anything for you. But we'll do it. Come on, just do it, buddy.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Come on, sweetie. Do it.
Well, do it.
Okay. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Yeah, in reality, look, the reality of this is I don't think Giannis is coming. I don't think the Warriors are going to make a trade at all. I mean, look, Detroit needs a shooter. If you're smart, send Buddy Hield's ass there right now. Even if the only thing you're getting back is a second-round pick, send his ass to Detroit right now. You don't need Buddy Hield on your team. You're going to cut that contract after this season regardless. Save yourself the $3 million. Joe Lacob, I know he cares about that $3 million. And Wordman in our chat mentioned this a few moments ago, Armando. Mike Dunleavy Jr. right now is not even in the country. That is not as significant as you may think, because ultimately, when it comes to a trade of a blockbuster stature like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Mike Dunleavy Jr. does not sit at the grown-up table. He sits at the kiddie table. No disrespect to Mike Dunleavy Jr., but he's not the one making that call. This is a Joe Lacob operation in terms of making a Giannis trade actually happen. With that said, do the optics look good that the Warriors GM, with the trade deadline less than a week away, is on the other side of the planet scouting potential players for the upcoming draft? No, it's not good optics at all. But it also might not mean much. And Armando, any thoughts on the fact that the Warriors GM, with the trade deadline around the corner, is not even in this hemisphere?
No, I don't care about that.
I don't either. Was Shree here? No, I don't. Sorry, I saw Shree's name in our chat.
Good for him. Good for him. None of those people work anyways. It's all good. Just playing, just on their phone, doom scrolling like everybody else. They don't watch games.
Did anybody, Armando, have an easier job?
He signed Al Horford after watching Al Horford in the playoffs last year. So how closely could he be paying attention?
But did anybody have an easier job in life than 2017 head coach Steve Kerr? Like that to me.
Yeah, there is someone.
Who?
George Bush Jr.
Sports wise, let's keep it to sports. I like sports wise. Yeah, you're right about that. I'm not pushing back there, but in terms of the Warriors, coaching the 2017 Warriors must have been an absolute cush job, dude. Let's talk about this. We got to talk about this Podziemski thing, because it's absurd. Playing him against shitty teams, you might see good results. It could happen. Playing a good team like the Pistons, what the hell are you doing? Podziemski played 28 minutes, 18 seconds. Second on the team in minutes tonight, behind Draymond Green's 33 minutes and 1 second. Brandon Podziemski, 1 of 8 from the field. The one shot he made was a 3. He was 1 of 4 from deep. He got most of his points from the free throw line. He was 8 of 9 from the free throw line, which by his standards are damn good because he's not one of the team's better free throw shooters. Did at least get his team involved with the 8 assists, did grab 8 rebounds, had 2 steals, but he also had 4 turnovers. And those are some ugly ass turnovers. I remember those vividly, like just bad passes, like just what the hell are you doing type plays where you're watching it in real time, just kind of like just squirming, cringing. Yeah.
I haven't talked about Podziemski in about a month, and I think it's time to reiterate something.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I think, chat, as you guys are moving through the world and you give your criticisms of pods, and then you get the Hamza types come back at you, and they say something to the effect of, "Why are you criticizing a role player, bench player, as if he's the problem with the team, when Pods only plays, 20 minutes or something like that? Why are you criticizing Pods?" And I think, chat, I just want to provide you with the proper response to that idiotic sentiment, because what the Hamza types don't realize they're doing is they're moving the goalpost, and it erases the fact that it was obvious, as Larry Hoods just said, that Pods is dead weight, and they've been playing 4-on-5 with this guy for 3 years. And he was playing 30, 35 minutes a game. And the coach believed in this guy as if he was a playoff performer. And he actually failed miserably. And in fact, it's the only reason why they didn't win a game against a second game against Minnesota, because of Podziemski's 35 minutes. Do you guys, as an aside, Jonathan Kuminga's 2 games that he came back with this last 2 weeks or a week ago or so, and they lost the game he debuted. He came off the bench as the 12th man, and Podziemski started, and they started that game. So I don't know if you remember, they were like down 18-3 or 5 or something like that with Pod. That's the same shit that happened in the Minnesota playoff series when Jonathan Kuminga was averaging 25 in the game. They were down. They started Buddy Hield and Podziemski, and they were down like 25-10. I can't remember what it was in the first quarter. And Jonathan Kuminga actually brought them back. And Jonathan Kuminga got the blame for the loss. That's an aside. But when I'm
surprised
is the moving goalpost is important. Because yes, he is a bench player, and he shouldn't be playing 30, 35 minutes a game. But the team invested that into him. The coach, the Steph Steve Curry system invested that in him, and he was playing small forward. That means he was playing with 2 other guards as the small forward. You can look it up. That means he was playing over Jonathan Kuminga at the expense, developmental minutes. So you can sit here and say, "Oh, don't criticize this guy." But it was obvious then that guy is not an NBA winning player. And we invested that team. Our talent evaluation on this team, or the PR that he serves, they're trying to sell tickets because maybe they're not actually trying to win. They're trying to sell tickets. But they invested that in him for 3 years. So that's on you. That's on the Hamza system. You can't just move the goalpost now and be like, "Oh, yeah, he is bad. Stop criticizing him." No, he was treated as the next guy, as the guy. So don't move the goalpost now. That's what I want to say about that to the Hamzas.
And Hamza, I would take it as an absolute compliment that your name's turned into a verb. I can't get enough of that. It's amusing as F. And I'm with you, and I'm 100% with you, man. It's one of those things where it's why a coaching change is desperately needed, because one of many new things that would happen with a replacement there is some common sense decision making when it comes to the rotation, starting with Brandon Podziemski being second on your team in minutes. On the season, he's averaging more than anyone else not named Stephen Curry. And in a game like tonight, second on the team in minutes. It's absurd. It's like Steve Kerr cannot help himself in terms of putting that kid in there. He treats him like his own son. And like, I get it.
Here's the other thing, Si. is Pods has always done well playing against shitty opponents.
Yes. Yeah, I've said that. Yeah.
And I just want to reiterate this, and we could talk about the arc of the season, but they've been playing shitty opponents since late December. And I predicted that late December, January, it was going to be them along with the 76ers. And do you think Joel Embiid looks good? They are playing their ass off during the dog days. Draymond Green called this the dog days for a reason. And they are going all out playoff mode. It's why Steph Curry's hurt. It's why Jimmy got hurt, is because they're playing playoff mode to get wins. And we've seen how hard they're getting it in against teams that are barely freaking trying and are injured themselves. And Pods has looked decent because of it. And I very much fear that Warriors fans don't watch enough of the other NBA. It is not that hard to hit open shots anymore. You can hit an open three, and Pods barely does that, even if he's shooting 40%. The shots he hits aren't winning shots. They're like dead ball shots. They're shots when we don't have a chance of winning. That's terrible, terrible shooting. It's shots when the defense is not trying that hard. It's shots when there's not really anything at stake. I've seen that guy play when things are at stake. And tonight was kind of an example of it, even though Detroit ain't even that good. It was actually a clutch game. But the same goes for Buddy Hield. Same goes for Quentin Post. Same goes for a lot of guys. And, if you're not up to the task athletically, Lightyear's podcast said that last week they said that Podziemski is better than Cade Cunningham because he's a winning player. That's a little quote from Lightyear's
Amateur Hour, man.
I'm serious, side. They actually said that.
I know. I believe you. I've had so much secondhand information relayed to me because other folks. I feel like the excuse more times than not now for people still listening to that show. At least people I talk to. I mean, I don't know what their numbers are. I imagine they're still doing decent, but people come to me and tell me just the utter illogical ignorance that's espoused on that show. And more recently, besides the fact that apparently they were like they're the chief advocates for Brandon Podziemski, they also I saw today, just literally last show, Armando, I quickly let the audience know. I'm like, look, this Brett Siegel guy who just his name always pops up, whenever like it's transaction season, whether it's free agency, whether it's trades. All of a sudden, this guy, he writes for Clutch Points, the furthest thing from a bastion of journalistic integrity. And he's just a clickbaiter, like a master clickbaiter. And and he's been proven wrong so many times. He has zero connections, just like the Lightyears guys. And so, huge surprise, I see yesterday that he was like their special guest. Yeah, it's like Brett Siegel, like great. So and I guess the question is, are those two guys like that likable? Like, what is the appeal there? I tried to when I first got hired by the last network that I was on, the Locked On show that I did for 3+ years. One of the first things I did when I took over that show, and in case people are wondering, like, how'd you even get that gig? It's because I was hosting the Rick Barry show with Rick Barry here on Believe, and we were doing that for a couple years, and that's on top of like my extensive background. And then the network just I guess discovered me, and they asked me to co-host with Dieter Kurtenbach, and I thought that was an interesting experience because Dieter's been doing this media game for a number of years, and it took me about 3 weeks to start to realize like just what this current paradigm is in terms of just playing it safe, like prioritizing like relationships over accuracy and authenticity. And it's just a lot of toxic shit that goes on in this media scene that we're currently in. And I reached out to that Sam Esfandiari guy. Is that how you say his last name? And he was just a dick. Like he responded at first because I invited him, like, let's do a show together, man. I know you're a guy and you're in this scene. And he responds to me at first and he's like, yeah, sure. And then like a week later, just ghosts me. Just unfollows me, and I'm like, all right, so that's how you want to roll. Let the games begin, and it's become a competition since. And I am proud that our show continues gaining, and oftentimes beats the shit out of them. But bigger question, my what I'm curious about is what's the appeal? Is it just, like what is the appeal with these guys? They don't know shit about hoops. They have zero connections. I just the whole media scene is just foul. It's
Yeah,
just wrong.
I listen to it occasionally just to keep my pulse on the Hamza worldview.
Yes, yes.
Because I actually click on like Fox News occasionally just to go look, because you need to really inform yourself as to like, so in sociology we teach there's no such thing as a crazy opinion. People have a rationality to it. They have a logical reason for what they believe,
True.
even if it's actually insane from an objective perspective. They have a logic to it, and so I gotta know, like, Steve Kerr's not just like, he thinks the way they're playing work. He's trying to play fast. He thinks playing small, getting more threes, and that gives energy to the ball, and people are going to shoot more, and it confuses the other team when they play fast. Like, that's his worldview as to what.
Well, and it's a math thing, Armando. It's also a math thing where you can be a bad team, but if on a good night you hit, let's say, 20 out of 53s, you can beat anybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't take talent at that point. You just got to make more threes than the opposition. That's the strategy. Which is wild.
Totally wrong. It doesn't work in 2026. It's an absolute joke. But that is what they think is going on. So when I listen to the Hamza worldview on shows like 95.7 and Light Years podcast and other thing, and Tim Talcami went on that show and said that Light Years really knows what they're doing, and oh, by the way, my favorite part of the Light Years podcast is when they say they didn't watch a third quarter because they're making dinner for their child or something like that, and then Tim Kawakami says, "Oh yeah, I was writing I made my 49er article better during the game. I didn't really watch that closely." Like, that's the kind of level of analysis you're getting. It is.
And side note, Armando, by the way, the man whose name you turn into a verb, Hamza Kassem, saying the only show he watches is ours. Love you, Hamza, and appreciate you having a good sense of humor about officially turning your name into a verb. The Hamzas of this world, I love it. Go ahead, man. Sorry. Good sport, brother. I respect.
It's too late. It's too late for you, Hamza. The ship has sailed. But their worldview is that, look, Steve Kerr, you can criticize Steve Kerr, but they won't actually criticize him. And there's players that make winning plays, that do the little things, and athletic NBA level bodies that can actually get the motherfucking ball in is somehow like a loser thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally like listening to your boomer uncle tell you that they like college basketball and they don't watch the NBA that closely. That's what it's like. And people are into that. They're into that. They love the like smart, the IQ. They love the short shorts. You guys catch my drift, chat. And there's a significant portion of Bay Area folks that do not want to see a certain type of player get it in on the Warriors. They want to see the outsmarting stuff. And I'm here to tell you, in 2026, you cannot play unathletic players. You have to develop. You can develop IQ. You can develop smarts. You can develop synergy. If you actually practice your wings together, which Steve Kerr has never done. He has never played Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga with the best players on the team ever in 5 years. That's never even been practiced. So you cannot tell me that they've actually tried to coach this team to the best of the ability. No one can ever say that. Ever, ever, ever. No one can ever say that. And instead, we've been playing these players that have a ceiling, that have to play 110% just to stay on the court. So when it comes to winning time and playing against real talent and teams that are actually trying to win and not tanking or not injured, they can't level up. They cannot level up in the playoffs. They can't level up when it's winning time because they're already playing at 110%. That is the crux of NBA basketball. It's always been that way.
Let's a couple people in the chat want to join us, Armando, if you don't mind. I know we're going to do a short show. We'll say goodbye.
No, I'm ready to stay. So I'll stay as long as you want.
All right. Well, at least I won't keep you around for the scoreboard. I'll bid adieu then, so you can get some R&R. I know school's back, and I imagine that's the beginning is always rough. You're trying to establish a pace, a tempo, a rhythm to the semester, or is it a quarter or semester system at Berkeley?
Semester. We just started, man. Ooh,
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah, it's craziness.
Crazy.
And Apollo God in the chat saying, "I'm back. Welcome back. Wherever you went, welcome back." Let's get Memo on the show. Memo, welcome to the program. How you doing? It's Friday night. You doing good?
How you doing? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I mean, I think you guys kind of hit it. Like, Podziemski, like, he's ruining me being a fan. It's just really hard to watch him play. At the 28 minutes tonight, he didn't do he shot the ball like 1 for 8. He can't guard, so I don't he can't guard. He can't really dribble. He can't really shoot. So basically, like, everything you need to be a good NBA player, he can't do.
I have to play this soundbite just because it's a new one, and I don't think I'll play it much. But when you run off a line like that, he can't shoot, he can't defend, he can't pass, he can't rebound, he can't jump, he can't sit, he can't eat, he can't talk. I'm exaggerating at this point, but there's only one clip to play for.
I'm mad at everything, man. Brother got a nice car, man. Why you got a car, man? I only got 1 car. Why you got 3 cars or a wife or all that, man? That's played out, man. I hate on it till he's totally broke. It ain't got nothing like me, you know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, that's what real hating is all about, man.
Hell yeah, continue on.
Yeah, and so, like I said, I don't understand why he plays. And then Guy, I thought played really well tonight. Him and Moody,
yes,
to me brought the energy. And they were playing well. They made kind of that run with them on the floor. So it makes no sense to me that you sub those guys out.
Agreed.
That doesn't make sense. And then
Can I
in
say
terms
something
of
about
like,
Guy real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I love Guy. And I think after week 1, Cy had asked me who would be my lineup. And I said Guy would be the 6th man off the bench. He'd be the first guy off the bench. And the chat just killed me. The Hamza community just killed me. And it's because Steve Kerr had Gez Santos DNP'd for most of the year.
Yeah.
Until Terry Stotts played him in that game. You can't for the Hamza Kerr defenders, you cannot just ignore that. And then I haven't even talked about the way TJD, whose nickname should be DMP, and I said that in July.
Side note, the Trace Jackson DNP should hopefully resolve for any of you out there who keep begging the question. Why can't the Warriors get a big? Like, why can't they go out there and get Daniel Gafford? Because they already have a player similar to that on their roster, and we know how Steve Kerr feels about that. Trace Jackson Davis should have played tonight. That was one of the guys I was looking at right from the start of this game in terms of who's coming off this bench and having a role, because the Detroit Pistons have a bunch of large dudes, starting with Jalen Duren, who grabbed 13 boards in this game to go along with 21 points. Guys like Tobias Harris, who would be an easy center on this Golden State Warriors team. He grabbed 8 boards tonight. Big Stu played 23 minutes and 57 seconds, adding 5 boards from his perspective. Even guys like Javonte Green, Cade Cunningham, who's their point guard, is 6'8". This Ozzer Thompson is a 6'7" wing with a massive wingspan. This is a big team. I thought Trace Jackson Davis was would have a role tonight. Wrong.
It's not just it. Sorry, one more quick, Memo. I'll let you cook. It's not just play him. It's what he represents in terms of 3-4 guard lineups in this thing. Gez Santos should have been playing small forward next to other wings. And that's what I was always saying. Play 2 at all times. Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, Gez Santos. They should always be on the court next to Draymond and TJD and Jimmy Butler and Andrew Wiggins before him. He represents the opposite of playing 3-4 guards. And when Gez Santos plays power forward, that's when he doesn't look that good and he kind of misses shots. It's when he plays small forward that this team goes crazy. And that's what I've always driven home here. Do not just talk about the individual players. Talk about the quote-unquote combinations, as Steve Kerr likes to say. He just plays bad combos. Okay, I'll shut up for now.
Well, real quick, Bimo, do you mind if we listen to a clip from Gez Santos real fast?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
All right, let's listen to Guy, who was part of the post-game presser. And sorry, I got to do this. Forgive me, folks. You got to stare at my ugly mug when we do these press conference clips because the NBA has been punitive lately. Here is and Memo and Armando, your sound is still up. Here is Gez Santos after the game, giving credit to the veterans for doing on a night-by-night basis what he's asked to do occasionally and respecting the difficulty of it. Here is Gez, or AKA Gooey Santos.
So I think this game's. I don't know how many games in a row, but we've been playing a day off, playing, day off, playing, day off. So and we're playing in Minnesota. We're supposed to do that, but then we play a back-to-back in Minnesota. So we'll be good for us. I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired. Trying to play the hardest that I can. You got one day in between to recover, and that make me think about Steph, Draymond, all these guys that been doing that for so long, and that is elite. That make them more my respect for them be way bigger because it's hard, man. It's hard. I don't know how they do that. It's 19, right? 19 seasons. Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, sorry about that. There, not much revealed there. That was courtesy of Joseph Tigas of the Bay Area News Group. Gooey Santos, aka Gez Santos, basically telling the public, I don't know how Steph and Dre and these guys do it on a night basis because I'm exhausted. I don't think it helps that you have a coach who gives you inconsistent minutes, which doesn't help with conditioning. And the Detroit Pistons are damn good. They're big. He was fighting for his life out there tonight, but he was holding his own at the same time, I thought.
Yeah, and then another thing, Quinn Post, whenever I see him play, he's been just garbage.
Inconsistent. Yeah, it's tonight he was awful.
Yeah, and I mean for the past couple of games, it just feels like his shot, really for the season, I don't know what it is, the percentage, it's been pretty bad compared to last year. And I don't quite understand what is going wrong with him, but his shot is not even looking clean at all. His release, I mean, it's just been short, all his shots.
Quinn Post, the numbers this season, and I don't know if this reflects tonight, but he's only shooting 35.2% from deep this year, which again is passable, but it's not exactly something you want to you get excited about. It's barely above the Mendoza line of 33.3%. We call that the Mendoza line because shooting 33.3% from three is the equivalent of 50% from two. So you can happily live with 33. Last year, you're right. He's taken a dip. His rookie year last year. Now, granted, he had less 3-point attempts a year ago. In his rookie season last year, Quinn Post had 179 3-point attempts, hitting 40.8% of his threes. That's awesome. This year, he's already up to 219. So he's already had 40 more 3-point attempts with about 30 games to go and change. And he's down to 35.2. So, yeah, there has been a decline in the 3-point shot this year.
Yeah, and it's he doesn't really provide anything else apart from his shooting. His rebounding, he can't really rebound. Defensively, he's taking a kind of a step at the start of the season. But he's not great at defense.
Yeah, you're right. Wasn't he the NBA's leader in defensive rating, and people were going crazy about that for a moment? Remember that?
I mean, yeah, that never really correlated when you saw him on the floor. It was something crazy. But yeah, and then in terms of the trades, the whole Giannis thing taking over, I mean, if you don't get Giannis at this trade deadline, you got to move on. I think the worst thing would be for them to think, they could do something in the off season when other teams probably would, offer more, and the market would be a lot higher. So I think if you don't get him in when's the trade deadline? A couple of days.
Next Thursday.
Yeah, if you don't get him by next Thursday, I think you just got to move on. You got to find another option. A lot of people
there is no other option. You want to know what happens if the Warriors don't make a deal by next Thursday? It's over. It's meaning this dynasty's done. Outside of some miracle deep postseason run, Steve Kerr's out. It could be Stephen Curry's last year next year, and it's going to be like Kuminga time, and it's going to be whoever they draft, and the transition begins. It's not the days of chasing titles is over. Is what I'm trying to say. If And again, look, it's not over forever. It's just, a temporary, like, it's a rebuild. You gotta rebuild at a certain point. The Warriors did not want to put themselves in that position, but they have a head coach who had zero interest in development and planning ahead, and he's just all about like Mr. Now and how do I make Steph happy, and how do I make Steph comfortable, and how do we run an offense that's focused on him at all times and that has no plan B or no contingencies. It's lunacy, man. This is not what the front office ever wanted. With that said, I have a take that you guys may think is crazy. And Armando, I'll start with you in terms of a reaction, and then Sharia is with us. Shit, I'm sorry. I'm just seeing this now. Sharia, good to see you. I'll fix the screen in just a second here, but this is a take that Sharia, I'd love to hear your thoughts on as well. Jonathan Kuminga, my guess is, because Steve Kerr mentioned that Kuminga was sent home from that last road trip early. He's been rehabbing that bone bruise in his knee, whatever that rehab is. I'm going to guess a lot of time in the swimming pool would be my suspicion for how you work on that, and obviously like athletic trainers, doing whatever the lotions are and the massage treatment and all that stuff. Here's my take. Let's say nothing happens next week, which is probably the reality of the situation, and you're suddenly left with the team that you have now. I think the potential for this team, like provided Kuminga comes back, and I think you will see him in uniform again after the trade deadline. I don't think he's going to play next Tuesday in Philly. My guess is he wants out, and this might help with that. I don't think the Warriors carry the way. But I really do believe that if Kuminga comes back and he's committed and Steve Kerr can get his head out of his ass, huge if in terms of rotations. And more specifically, this has been my ethos for like 3 months now in terms of what I think this team should do. Podziemski, GP2, Buddy Hield need to be out of the rotation. I've been saying this for months. All right. This team has 15 players on it. I'm only asking for 3 of them to slide to the end of the bench and not see a run unless it's garbage time. Podziemski, GP2, Buddy. Now, the good news is, while granted it takes him months to learn what most of us can realize in a day, at least Steve Kerr's starting to come around, right? Like Buddy Hield, for example, was out of the rotation before Jimmy Butler got hurt, and there are still games where you don't see him at all. Like he's kind of like a pick and pop kind of player in this lineup in the current iteration. Like there's no guarantees you'll see him each night. It depends. GP2, in case you folks haven't noticed, out of the rotation. This has been the second game in a row he's been DNP'd. It isn't because of health reasons. And I don't know if in Steve Kerr's weird vision of this team, he thought GP2 brought value with Jimmy Butler, or now that Butler's out for the year, maybe that value isn't there. Maybe he's come around to the fact that at 6'2", and with an average at best offensive skill set, with a defensive skill set that is not what it was in 2022, that he is just not good enough to be out there on a consistent basis getting minutes. If Steve Kerr can come around to the Podziemski part of this, and you suddenly have rotations where Kuminga's getting minutes, where Will Richards getting minutes, where Moses Moody continues playing like this, where Al Horford can magically continue playing like this. Huge if. These are huge ifs. But what I'm trying to say here is there is a window to remain optimistic about this team, because I do believe that the 1 through 10, 1 through 11, this team is not bad. And they've shown that they can play with the best of them on a good night. Sharia, I'll start with you. Am I just talking crazy here, thinking that there's still some hope? And maybe that craziness comes from the idea that Steve Kerr's the coach and he has to come around. And again, it takes him months to realize what we see in a day or two. But if he does come around, if there's some incredibly lucky a moment of serendipity, if you will, where suddenly he realizes, oh, I actually have a good team in front of me. I just keep playing the wrong guys because I'm a putz. And he actually starts playing the right guys. I think this Warriors team's damn good. Again, these are all I could just be on a fantasy, but don't pop my cloud. I'm riding high. Sharia, I'll start with you. How are you doing, and your thoughts on my potentially bold take?
I'm doing well. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Yes, you're good.
Okay. So nothing's going to be right until they do right by Kuminga. It's just the way the universe works. It's just what it is. Nothing is going to be right. We can go through all the scenarios. We can go through the Giannis's, the Michael Porter Juniors. You could pick one. We can go through LeBron. We can go through. You can send Jesus. Nothing is going to be right until they do right by Kuminga. Whether they trade him to a team that works for him, whether they keep him and do right by him, either way, it's just not going to work. And it's nothing that I'm saying, like, it's not me that's like saying this should happen. It's just the way it works. That's what I believe. And I also
What if,
believe,
no pushback, but Sharia, what if, because we saw before Kuminga hurt the knee, he was starting to get a run again. He scored 30 points in 29 minutes, which in and of itself was impressive. He was actually playing. What if he does get the starting job back? What if Steve Kerr does decide you got your 35 minutes? What then?
then he's got to keep doing it. But until he does right by him consistently, like truthfully right by him, it's not going to work.
Armando,
and the
your
other
thoughts?
thing is,
Oh, sorry.
can I just say this part? When it comes to Giannis, everyone's talking about Giannis coming to the Warriors. Well, the Warriors fan base. A lot of other people think we're delusional. But when it comes to Giannis, I believe that Giannis is a man of principle. I could be wrong. But seeing the way that Jonathan Kuminga is being treated, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. That man is loyal. That man is about open communication. That man is about just doing right. He's always stood on principle and business. And he's seen the way that the business is with Kuminga in Golden State. And to be honest with you, if you're a person of principle, that shit is kind of whack. You don't really want to go there. And I hate to say that, but that's just what I think. It's not appealing to him. I don't think it's appealing to him, but I could
I'm
be
with you on that.
wrong.
I'm with you on that. Armando, am I talking crazy in terms of thinking that maybe there's still something to salvage with this Warriors team this year? Is it unsalvageable, if that's a word?
Well, that was a very interesting, that last point though, side that Sharia that you just made. I mean, that's kind of what I've been talking about, where the things that this coach has done, the workplace toxicity he's created, is going to affect this team down the line. It's going to affect, like, why would a young athletic player want to be drafted by this team? They're going to steer themselves away from this team. Why would any, like, the agents talk like this is a known thing? Like, why would any player want to steer their way to this team unless you're a has-been 35-year-old on an East Coast team that no one else wants to trade for you and give you a max level extension, and the Warriors are the only team that want to give that to you? Sound familiar? Like, that's the only way that it would happen. But in terms of what you said, I mean, I don't think it's incongruent with what we've been saying here for years. That and I do think it's in line with what Sharia said of doing right by Kuminga, which is to play him 30-35 minutes a game. And to play, that is doing right by him. That is what he deserves. And honestly, it's against what is being said by 3 people in the chat, that they don't have the roster. What you're saying, Sai, is they actually do have the roster. And that's why I was saying in July, this is a championship roster with a playing coach. Anybody who says they don't got the roster doesn't understand the way that the 3-4 guard lineup synergy affects everyone and leads to injury ball. So if you were to play Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody at shooting guard, Will Richards at shooting guard, not power forward, Jonathan Kuminga at small forward, TJD at center to slide everybody up. If you were to play that way 30 minutes a game and have everyone in orbit of that, Gez Santos, 6'9" shooter, like, that is synergistic. Everyone makes each other better. It doesn't have fit. This guy shoots. This guy dribbles. This guy defends. That is old school nonsense, ridiculous talk. You need wings that can do everything decently, and it magnifies each other. And they have those guys on the roster, and they've never played them together. Steve Kerr says he doesn't think it would work. He doesn't think it would fit, so he's never tried it. He's never tried it. It's based on his gut. So nobody can say they don't have the roster. We've never seen it. It's sitting right there. But, Sai, here's why I don't have hope and why me and my cousins think the right move is to tank, not to trade for Giannis. It's because the coach is not going to do that. What we've been looking on around this league is that the coaches that are making a difference are 45 and under that have not made, they're not former players. They have not made a name for themselves. They're hustling. They're trying to make their mark in life in this league to get contracts. They coach as if their life depends on eking out wins. And they make young players, young talent, their best friends. Do you think a young, talented coach would not communicate with Jonathan Kuminga, not explain why he's coming out the game, not like allow that player to go into the media and say, I don't know why I'm not playing. I don't get it. I don't know how to play center, even though I'm 6'6". No one's explained it to me. And just allow that to happen? No. This is a lazy old coach. And nobody wants to see it. Yeah, maybe he worked hard back in the day, but in 2026, he's a lazy old coach. Like, just admit it. That's where we're at in 2026. It doesn't mean you don't get to have your little statue. You get to have your little face on a bust outside of next to Kevin Durant in front of Chase. It just means in 2026, they could use some fresh blood.
And you summarized what I was trying to say, I think, very eloquently and to a point, which was unlike a few people in the chat who don't agree with this sentiment, I think this roster is fine as long as you look at it 1 through 11. 1 through 11, this roster is fine. But the way Steve Kerr uses this roster, it's malfeasance. Memo, how are you doing over there? Any final thoughts before we bring Kayeko on the show from Ottawa?
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you guys in terms of like Kerr seems checked out, and he wants to push kind of his own agenda rather than winning in terms of like the players he wants to play. In saying that though, I mean, I never really believed this team was a contender, even with Jimmy. I think their lack of size and just like having a 3-and-D wing was just too much to overcome. And now without Jimmy, you don't have a second scorer. And you don't really have that wing.
Kuminga.
I mean, I don't think he's like as good as Kuminga is when he does get run. I think with the coach of Kerr and Kuminga, I think that relationship is just strained. I mean, you've heard reports about it just being, I think Sean said like strained beyond repair, something like that. I think it's just too hard to overcome, unfortunately, and that's why I've always believed. I've always believed like either you choose Kuminga and you fire Kerr and you get a coach that believes in him, or I mean you trade Kuminga to a better situation and you stick with Kerr. And the fact that they haven't done that for the past like 4 years is, I mean, it's frustrating.
Yeah, this is definitely the end of the line, I think, for Kerr. I highly doubt he comes back next year. For the people who question the rhetoric of this roster being okay. Don't disregard what we saw the first 2 weeks when this Warriors team beat the Nuggets. All right, no small feat, and do not pretend Denver is not trying when they play the Warriors. And they also beat the Lakers in the opening night. That team was good, and it was good largely because Kerr was actually playing the best players. Here's what I would do, like with the current roster that the team have. Let's say hypothetically Jonathan Kuminga comes back healthy. This is why I still say this team has a good roster, because you could have a starting 5 today of Steph, DeAnthony Melton, Jonathan Kuminga, Draymond Green, and with that lineup, I guess you can get away with Quinn Post or even Al Horford. Horford's doing okay, I guess, good enough where you can give him the starting nod. I don't think that's necessarily hurting the team right now, even though I'm not a big Al Horford fan. But let's say that's your starting 5. Steph, Melton, Kuminga, Draymond Green, Al Horford. Is that bad? And then now you have a bench that includes Will Richard, that includes Gez Santos, that includes Trace Jackson-Davis, that includes Moses Moody. That's 9 deep. And then if Seth Curry comes back, Seth, to me, and again, we have no idea what's going on there. We were supposed to get an update back on Sunday. It's now Friday, so the team is 5 days late, and this is one of many reasons why I criticize the media scene, because they are feckless and they lack the inquisitive nature that I think you need to be a good journalist. Instead, all they're doing is just continuing with the Olay bullshit that we keep seeing in terms of questions.
Olay bullshit.
Week. And so we have no idea what's going on with Seth Curry right now. But my point is, if Seth comes back, that you're 10 deep right there. I wouldn't, and I honestly wouldn't hate seeing what Malachi Leons does for you. If Anthony Lamb and Ty Jerome can get significant run as two-way players, why can't Malachi Leons? Why can't LJ Cryer? I don't get it. It's just Steve Kerr is just always so behind the curve in terms of knowing who to play when and evaluating talent. It's weak, but Sharia, you're starting five again, and you can make some tweaks to this, right? But let's say, for the sake of argument, for this exercise, you're starting five: Steph, Melton, Kuminga, Dre, Big Al. Your bench includes Moody. It includes Will Richard. It includes Gez Santos. It includes Seth Curry. It includes Quentin Post when you need him. I feel like Quentin Post can be one of those situational dudes where if you need a second big to stretch the floor, you play him. If you don't, give those minutes to Trace Jackson Davis. That's 11 deep right there. I don't think that's a bad 11 deep. What are your thoughts?
I hate that we don't have an aggressive big. You know, we have Al Horford, who's old.
True.
We have Draymond, who's tired and stressed the fuck out. Excuse my French. And then we have Quentin Post and Trace. I hate that we don't have an aggressive big.
Yeah.
Quentin Post is just, I hear the fan base say, we have Quentin Post when he's hitting threes and he's getting rebounds. We're all happy, but it's against garbage teams. You put him against Zubac, Valanciunas, the Joker. You put him against you put him against anybody else in the league, and he's toast. And I wish people would realize that I like him, but he's got to get way more aggressive. They eat him for breakfast when they see him coming, and he gets confused. He gets frustrated, and he's foul prone. Like his defense, he gets in foul trouble, and they use that against him every single time.
Armando, your thoughts on my fantasy lineup? Am I reaching too hard? Like Jay whatever in our chat saying, no way you're hyping up Seth Curry. Yeah, if he's healthy, I mean, that is a huge what if. I mean, considering we've only seen him play 2 games since he's joined the Warriors, but when he's healthy, he's a basketball player. Armando, am I talking crazy? Your thoughts?
Yeah, so I just don't think narrative is caught up to reality on Seth Curry. He's in 2026. He's a dad bod out there.
But you take the Seth part of it out. Fine. Let's say Seth's not playing. I still gave you 10 players. Are those 10 not good enough to make some noise?
For sure. Yes. Yeah. If they were to get 30 minutes a game to those right guys and everyone else is in orbit of that, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, and Memo, I'm telling you, all you got to do is trade Podziemski. The only trade I think you have to do, and I know, Sharia, this doesn't solve the answer of getting that impact big, but that part of it, I don't think you're ever going to get as long as you have Steve Kerr. But at least you can do one little trade that I think would solve a lot of issues. You trade Podziemski to the Sacramento Kings, and you bring back Keon Ellis. I think that's all you have to do.
What you think? You could would the Kings agree to that? Because
well, that's a good question.
If they watch any basketball.
Well, look, the Kings don't agree to that. That just goes to show how little value Podziemski has. I also feel like if why would the Kings say no to that? Unless they're getting bigger and better offers for Keon Ellis. But the Kings are such a pathetic franchise, man. That is a depressing situation. Oh, my God. So you don't think the Kings would bite?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, you could probably get anything. You can get something else.
You could get players like Podziemski every year in the draft in the second round.
Right.
Why would anyone trade for him?
Nobody's trading for him.
Dude,
nobody's checking for him except for Steve Kerr. I think that the rest of the league is laughing at the whole situation. I think the rest of the league is like pro Kuminga because players talk. Players talk. I know for a fact. Like I go to breakfast every Friday, and when I go to this diner in Jersey, there's a certain NBA player's dad, not on the Warriors. He's on a whole nother team, big name in the league, that sits there and eats breakfast. And we have conversations. And he told me that Kuminga's a good kid. He's like, Kuminga's a good kid, and everybody knows it. And as soon as he gets off that team, he'll be all right. That's what this man told me. And I'm sitting here thinking, I listen to the Warrior fan base talk about Kuminga's this, Kuminga's that. And I'm like, oh my God, they're so delusional. The rest of the league is pro Kuminga.
They are. Let's just not forget
that that's also why they hold on to him. Don't think they
And-
hold on to him for no reason. They know. They just don't want you to know that they know.
Exactly. The front office definitely knows, and they don't want that to blow up in their face. It is crazy. Memo, any final thoughts? Or Armando, go ahead. I'm sorry, man. You just jump in anytime, Armando. This is your co-host here, just like Sharia.
I just wanted to add to Sharia what you said there. Like, in addition to the rest of the league knowing this situation is effed, half of the Warriors organization knows this situation is effed. Draymond, Jimmy, I do believe Mike Dunleavy Jr., not just Joe Lacob, multiple elements of the front office know the coach is a moron, and no one is able to say anything because of Steph Curry. And they're trying to protect the situation. That's why I've been talking about the power struggle. And what you said at the end is so key. It is a reason why they're not trading. They're not willing to trade him for peanuts. As Dunleavy said, we're not going to trade him if the right demand is not out there.
Right.
It's because they view him as an actual piece and the hardest worker on the team. And the only people that are not caught up to the situation are the 60-70% of the Hamza type fans that believe this coach knows talent, and if he's not playing somebody, it's for a good reason. I would say like 60% of the fans think that way. The Light Years podcast is on record saying Jonathan Kuminga's attitude is as bad as Allen Iverson's.
No, those guys are propagandists.
Literally, that's an effing quote.
I
That's
lost
how bad that shit is.
I lost all respect for who's the reporter that Kevin Durant called out? He was a beat reporter for the Warriors, and he's gone. He's like running a Substack. God damn it, I forgot his name. Anyways, I lost all respect for him because he would bring on the Light Years guys, and they just make up shit. Like one of the lies they were spreading was, I heard from my sources that Kuminga's trainer is the issue, and I'm like, Kuminga's trainer? Like, you mean the same trainer as Sophia Jones, and who was well respected in the entire NBA? Like, it's the dumbest shit imaginable. We also have there's a Hamza in the chat, this guy JFSGN whatever, saying nobody wants Kuminga, take the L and move on. Bull effing shit. The reason why there has not been the demand is because other teams know the leverage that the Warriors have. They're not going to like go out of their way to offer more than anyone in the right mind would. They also are fully aware that this guy could be available for free a year from now, if not this offseason. They're biding their time. He was a restricted free agent last offseason. I don't know if you noticed this, but he was one of 4 restricted free agents last offseason, along with Josh Giddey, Quentin Grimes, and none of those guys were getting off. And the guy with Brooklyn, none of those guys were getting offers either for the same reason. Last offseason was a terrible free agent market. Only one team had cap space, and that was the Brooklyn Nets. Nobody else had space to offer money for free agents outright. So you would have had to, so you couldn't even make an offer to him as a restricted free agent. And leverage is important in these discussions. Do not pretend for a second the demand isn't there. It's just that no team is willing to give up the farm for him right now because they know he could be available for nothing. They know how desperate the Warriors are, and that's just how this business goes. You know, you're not gonna lose a trade voluntarily. You're not gonna go out of your way to get ripped off in this world. Like every other GM also wants to win trades, and they know that the Warriors in their situation are not gonna. You know, there's just no point. There's no point to being aggressive to try to pursue him at this point because it's a near impossibility. That's just a ludicrous take. Memo, any final thoughts?
Yeah. For Joe Lacob, you've been waiting 7 years for Giannis. I better see like every pick on the table here. You better give Steph the best possible chance to win. And if we don't get Giannis, I agree with you guys. You probably just play Kuminga more, try to get his value up. Maybe you could do something in the off season. We'll go from there. Thank you for having me on.
All right, man. Thank you, Memo.
That
was a good take.
On that last question that Memo said, can you highlight Tracy's comment at 11:09?
Yeah, 11:09.
I wanted to see what Sharia thought about this and what you thought, Sai. It's a good question. It's more or less, do we think Steve Kerr has what it takes to coach a Giannis, Draymond, Steph Curry, core.
This one?
Yep. Is there any worry there? Do we think it would just be okay to play those three together and we wouldn't need an actual coach trying to make it work? Just throw lineups out there? What do you guys think? Is it okay to have Kerr with coaching Giannis?
No. No. And again, Armando, what I've been saying repeatedly is, does Giannis even want to come here? Largely because of the coach. Dude, don't pretend no one paid attention to Kevin Durant not wanting to come back, right? It was because of the coach, side note. And do not pretend no one's been paying attention to how Kuminga's been treated in all this, right? Giannis is paying attention to that shit, man. And I'm with you. I don't think Giannis is coming, and I don't think Giannis wants to come to the Warriors because of that. Something tells me Giannis's representatives in whatever's going on behind the scenes with the Warriors aggressively pushing for this trade, do not pretend for a second Giannis's representatives are not asking those questions of the Warriors. How committed are you to Kerr? How's Kerr going to treat Giannis? Those are coming up, man. And it's probably and the answers that Lacob's giving them are probably the same answers he gave Kuminga's representatives. And that's going to give them pause. And this is where ultimately what I've been saying on this show for about a week or two now is this could ultimately be Steve Kerr's karma coming back to bite him in the ass for the way he's treated Jonathan Kuminga. Other people have noticed. And now you have a chance to get Giannis Antetokounmpo, but the ball is in his court because he's going to be an unrestricted free agent a summer from now. So he has all the leverage. The Warriors are not going to give the Bucks 4 picks for a rental, for a short-term rental. They're not doing that. They're not going to give the Bucks the house so that they can have a Kawhi Leonard situation and maybe win one championship, especially that Stephen Curry injury tonight. That's very subtly, I think, majorly damaged the Warriors' hopes of getting Giannis, because Giannis did notice that too. Giannis doesn't want to go to another franchise that he has to carry on his back like he has been with Milwaukee. And seeing Steph get hurt, not knowing how Steve Kerr is going to use him, wondering if he's going to be treated like a second fiddle while he's here. And I mean, the guy's a superstar. He's a megastar. He wants the superstar treatment too. I do think that's playing a huge part in all this. Shree, what are your thoughts?
I agree. It's not appealing. I don't know why the Warriors franchise feels like people are checking for them. People want to come and play there. No. People want to play with Steph, but not with nobody wants to come to the franchise and deal with Steve Kerr. How they've done Kuminga is so loud. Everyone sees it. No one is checking for us. I don't know why the fan base feels like people want to come play here. No, they don't. No one wants to deal with that. Kevin Durant didn't keep it a secret. Jordan Poole's talked. Everyone's talked. It's not appealing. And until the fan base realizes that, it's just going to be a circle of delusion.
Yep.
And Jamal Brown bringing up Jason Tatum. That's another player that got practically PTSD'd by the Steve Kerr treatment. I mean, we played that soundbite in the show earlier this week. That was not a good look for Kerr either. And Jason Tatum was saying everything that I've been saying, which is that Tatum went into those Olympics as a reigning gold medalist, as a reigning world champion, as the best player on that title team. His teammate Jaylen Brown also didn't even get the invite, which was even just as crazy. I thought it was right up there with the craziness of DNPing Jason Tatum. And yeah, it rattled him. And the reasoning he gave as well, I thought was very interesting in terms of not speaking up, right? He didn't want to be the one that's rattling the cage. He doesn't want to be the one upsetting the whole house with his antics. He was a team player, went along with it, but he also said after the fact it really bummed him out. It really affected him. It was bullshit. Dude, Steve Kerr's out of his mind, man, with this whole personnel thing. He's nuts. He's a crazy man, I think. Armando, sorry, were you gonna...
No, I agree with what you're saying, but I just want to talk about the coaching issues that I think would need to be overcome. I'm not saying it wouldn't work. I'm not ready to make this prediction yet. But I'm getting there because we're doing our research on Giannis, and he's not Jimmy Butler. People think it's just plug and play. He's a different player. And I think it would work a lot in the regular season because Giannis would be getting to the free throw lines, in semi-transition, and that doesn't require much coaching. And it would be good, and there would be a massive defensive uptick. Like him with Draymond, they'd be playing a lot better defense. Like that's good. I'm not even going to discuss the injury issues that I see with Giannis down the line, and I will discuss those at some point. But in terms of the coaching, Jimmy Butler was the coach of this team. He was the guy that was actually trying to get people in the right places. If Jonathan Kuminga needed to play center, he was the guy trying to help him to do that. There was a report in the second week when Steve Kerr benched Jonathan Kuminga because he supposedly regressed when it was just Steph Curry that got hurt. He was the guy that said the only way we're going to win is by trying to integrate Jonathan Kuminga with the best players on this team. And I, Jimmy Butler, am going to try to coach it because someone has to. And that was a leak in ESPN quotation. And he's gone. And I don't really see Giannis as that kind of guy. I need to ask that question because what will happen in the playoffs when Draymond Green's man is leaving him to double Giannis to create that wall? Do you remember when Al Horford was still not a corpse and actually played Giannis well and got the mega contract? He was the Giannis stopper. That's what he did. That's why Al Horford's still in the league, because he was able to create that wall. And when he wasn't a corpse like he is now. And the thing is, that can happen with Draymond's man. So that requires Giannis to be able to make a pass out of a double team in the Steve Kerr system to not look at for his own stuff, but to look for Steph Curry. Do they have a coach that can make that synergy work? That's what I would be asking the question. I'm not prepared to declare it won't work.
I am.
Those is what I was be asking myself if I was running this team.
By the way, Barber NBA in the chat saying that the Team USA won gold, so Kirk can sit anyone. Do not forget that Team USA was a heavy favorite. Can you even remember the last time Team USA did not win the gold medal in men's basketball? I do, but I'm curious to know, Barber, if you can remember. And if you can't remember, I'll give you a hint. It's been over 2 decades. Team USA does this consistently. It is not a brag to win gold. It's expected. And if Steve Kerr was the reason for it, then why could he not get his team to even medal the previous summer in the FIBA Cup? The FIBA Cup was the warm-up, and that team was not stacked. But what Steve Kerr did initially at the start of the FIBA Cup was bench Anthony Edwards in favor of Austin Reeves. And Steve Kerr admitted the only reason why he changed that tactic after the first game is because Anthony Edwards actually spoke up and was like, what the hell are you doing? And so Kerr listened to him. But you look at that final game that they were playing for a bronze medal that they lost, and he opted to start Josh Hart, 6'3", 6'4" Josh Hart at center, and they lost. They did not even get a bronze medal. So don't pretend that his genius coaching is the reason why Team USA won gold. They were heavy favorites. They barely pulled it off, did not cover the spread. It was not supposed to be that close. That is not something that you brag about. What Stephen Curry did is something to brag about. That was unbelievable. That was special.
He benched Brandon Ingram in that FIBA
yes.
when they did it. That's why Brandon Ingram is always getting it in against us, because it's the same Tatum experience and the same Kuminga experience. He played that guy in the Suns, Devin Booker, at small forward.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr's been doing this 3-guard nonsense stuff for a while, and this shit don't work. It don't work. Everybody in the league knows it. It don't work. It's the coach.
Sharia, I'd love to get your thoughts as well. Let me play this actually first real fast, and then because we got some sound that's come down, which is actually intriguing and interesting, worthy of jumping to. But Brooklyn No Opinion dropping $4.99 saying, Sharia, you hit it right on the nose. Why would Giannis, and Armando, you said this sentiment as well, why would Giannis want to play for a coach like Kerr? Jason Tatum, Jonathan Kuminga, Kevin Durant moments. With all that said, let's be honest, Stephen Curry also enables Steve Kerr. Sharia, your thoughts on that?
Of course, I think they enable each other. I think it's a toxic relationship. I think it's emotionally abusive. I know it when I see it. I do believe that there's some, codependency. There's some manipulation going on. There's a lot of manipulation going on. It's clear. I mean, I'm being honest. I see it. And it's. I don't know. I also do not know if Steph Curry wants to play alongside Kuminga. I don't think we talk about that enough. A lot of times we talk about Steve Kerr, but what lingers in the back of my head is why do I never hear Steph say I can play beside Kuminga or I want to play beside Kuminga or just like Jimmy speaks out and Draymond speaks out, I just don't hear Steph say that as much. So it makes me think, Steph, are you talking to Steve about not having Kuminga? I don't know. I'll go down the rabbit hole, but that's weird to me.
It's one of those things we've talked about where it's just Steph is such like he respects the coach, the head coach dynamic so much that he just doesn't speak out. Like he just fully trusts Kerr. Yeah, I've thought about that. I mean, how could you not, right? But
Right.
I've never seen or heard or gotten an inkling of evidence that indicates that Steph doesn't want Kuminga. I can say this with certainty. If Steph actually felt that way and expressed it, Kuminga would be long gone. He would have been traded for Alex Caruso. They would have figured something out to get him off the roster. I feel you though that Steph should say something, but he's such a nice dude. He hates conflict. Kerr's his guy. You hear him talk about any coach in his life with the utmost of reverence. He just believes in that relationship and that dynamic and even the structure organizationally. And he just, he named his first kid Riley after the GM who drafted him. It's how he rolls. He's loyal to the end, maybe to a fault in this case, because you're right. I do think there's a codependency issue there. Draymond Green. Anything you want to add to that, Armando?
Yeah, I mean, we've been hinting at it the last few weeks, but this is the NBA,
mm-hmm.
and it's a superstars league,
mm-hmm.
and Curry, people feel bad that like they're letting down Curry. I don't think so, man. It ain't like that. This starts at the top, and he's at the top. The buck stops with number 30. So, like,
yeah, you're right. And
G4M
G4M in our chat saying something just because you
3-4 guards.
No,
He's
you're right.
willing to
And
play that way.
G4M in the chat saying just because you believe in something doesn't mean it's right. I agree, but there's zero evidence, indicating that Steph has actually said something otherwise. There is zero evidence that indicates Steph doesn't want to play with Kuminga. I was trying to find the soundbite actually of him last year actually publicly advocating for Kuminga. He's done it a few times. He just doesn't want to cause drama with his head coach. That I do know. That's not a belief. That I know for a fact. He doesn't want to cause rifts. He doesn't want to make a negative noise in the building. And can you blame him for it? Yeah.
I mean, when you're getting love bombed on every interview, just love bombed. He loves him and Steph, and said that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a loyalty thing. Steph is loyal to Kerr,
Sure,
like
you're
to a
right.
fault.
Like
to a fault.
Him believing that his success was somehow due to this coach, like as if his greatness couldn't have worked with like something's in your mind there. Like that ain't right. That's like you lack some kind of confidence in yourself. Like I don't really get that part. Like Steph Curry is one of the greatest basketball players to ever grace this earth. He changed the game. And to think that he wouldn't have figured out that they needed to shoot more threes than they were shooting under Mark Jackson eventually it's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, it is. So Draymond Green said had two wild takes in the post game, and I'm curious, or I'm wondering if you two can help me out in terms of which subject you want to tackle first. One is Draymond after the game, and Draymond's taken the Jimmy Butler path of interviewing by not going to the podium. He's now like doing interviews with the blue tarp behind him in the hallway, the Blue Warriors banner. And he touched on two subjects, and I'll leave it to you to direct which direction. Sorry for the redundancy that we want to go. One is Draymond talking about the trade deadline, saying he has no reason to sit and worry about leaving, but if he's traded, that's part of the business. He's not losing sleep over it. Then there's the other one. This one's kind of crazy, where Draymond goes into a nearly 3-minute rant. We're going to play both of these no matter what. These are too good. But Draymond goes into a nearly 3-minute rant about the technical foul that he got in this game. In case you missed that, Dre was bickering with one of the officials, got whistled for a tech, and Dre's making it about race. Which one do you two want to go with first?
Whichever,
Race
it doesn't
official
matter.
or trades?
I want to hear either one.
Yeah, but which one are we going first? Help me out. Armando, what's your preference?
Race.
Sharia.
I'll roll with Armando. Race.
Let's do it. All right. Then there we go. The democracy has spoken. And Draymond, I am dying to know what he said. None of us have heard this before. Again, we are a live program that starts right when these games end. So we don't get a chance to preview a lot of the multimedia elements, including this one. So this is Draymond Green blaming, or I don't know what he's going to say here, but apparently he felt that there was racism involved from this Caucasian official. That's what the caption said that Draymond's indicating. So let's just sit back and relax. And I'm going to go get some water too while this is playing. Here's Draymond Green talking about the technical foul and the whole story behind it.
For me, not at all. I can try. Yeah. Control what I can control. So.
Can't hear it.
What about the young guys? I will tell you though, I find it very ironic that I got a technical foul for telling a Caucasian referee not to put his hand in my face. As a black man in America, don't put your hand in my face. And I said, hey, don't put your hand in my face, and I got to tell you. So I thought that was the most interesting thing of the night. Did he try to explain himself? He said, Draymond, this is your chance to stop talking to me, bro. Don't put your hand in my face. Oh, tech. Oh, okay. So, everybody want to talk about holding a line of respect. That line need to be held both ways. And so, if the line won't be held both ways, then the line won't be held from my way either, because we all men, right? So we all can make decisions and choices. So, let that be the last time. Let that happen.
What had the conversation been like with him? You've been talking to him for a while, looked like.
Well, he told me that Asar Thompson can hold the ball and look to see who to get a ball to after a made basket. And he said that's not a delay of game. He said guys catch the ball out of the rim all the time, and they do not look to who to pass it to. If you don't drop the ball, that rule was changed maybe 6 years ago. If you don't drop the ball and you just stand there and hold the ball, that's a delay of game. He said, no, that's not a delay of game. It's the second time he's done it. Slowing her breakdown, I can't get the ball and take it out. That would be a delay of game. And then Steph proceeds to get a delay of game the next play. Or free throw. So, yeah. Same referee though, JT Orr. So and he's like, oh, well, maybe you got a point. And no shit. The rule. Can't change the rules in the middle of the game. So yeah, that's what the conversation was about.
Gotcha.
Telling me that that's not a delay of game. Guy can catch it and look, it's not their ball.
Right.
That would be a delay of game. So it's unfortunate the rules change from person to person.
Have you had interactions with like that referee in the past or similar?
I've had interactions with all of them.
Very last time the Pistons were here, you mentioned Cade, the next step. Well, you.
Oh, and that's it. Well, that's it. But all I could say is I didn't think it was necessary to bring race into it, but I don't know. I mean, Armando, Sharia, any thoughts?
He felt that, so he
did feel that, yeah.
He felt that, so he said it. I can't knock him for feeling how he feels. Sometimes you feel a way about certain shit.
Yeah.
So he felt it, so he said it. I can't judge him based on how he feels. You know what I'm saying? I can't sit there and be like, a race shouldn't brought into it or any of that. The man felt like that, so he spoke on it, and obviously he was offended.
And clearly he has an issue with that specific official, JT Orr, because he had that man's name in his head. Armando, what are your thoughts? That was random at a bare minimum. It's
I have two
a little
thoughts.
heavy. What?
I have two thoughts. One, I've been watching Draymond closely over the years, and I'm pretty convinced that he is trying to not get traded before the deadline. I think that's really what's going on behind the scenes with these comments and some of the on-court behavior since the Jimmy Butler thing. The GMs around the league ain't that smart, and they kind of like, oh, is Draymond washed? Is he too much trouble than it takes? And like he's trying to. Draymond Green knows he's very smart. He is the most tradable asset on this team. Jonathan Kuminga is distressed. It's going to take draft picks to get off him because of what the coach has done to him. Steph Curry's got the biggest contract in the league. It is hard to move that, and he doesn't want to leave. Jimmy Butler is the worst contract in the league now because it would take assets to get off that. Draymond Green has value, particularly as a Wemby slower downer, and he's actually the guy that kind of would make sense to move, and I have a feeling he's doing things to decrease his trade value. That would be my thing around if I'm reading between the lines. But, Sai, can you Google Jonathan Kuminga, Steve Kerr, the picture of Steve Kerr, Terry Stotts, and Celebrini with Steve Kerr's hand on Jonathan Kuminga's chest after the game? I want to take a look at this picture because I want to talk about race for a second. Do you know which one I'm talking about? You're muted.
Was muted there. You're talking about Kuminga's first game back about 2 weeks ago, correct?
Can you pull that picture up if possible?
Yeah, I'll pull it up in just a second. I will in one moment. First, though, let's hear Draymond's other clip, and then I'll find that picture for you while I'm doing this. But this was Draymond talking about the trade market, and similar to what you both have been saying, or at least Armando, what you were saying about the fact that Draymond does not want to get traded. He doesn't want to leave the Warriors. I think that's a fair assumption to make. We lost Kyoko, by the way. Sorry, buddy. Anyway, so let's listen to Draymond talk about the trade market. This is courtesy of Anthony Slater. That previous clip was courtesy of Joseph Dykes. Friendly reminder that these clips are coming from cell phone audio, so crank up the volume on your devices when we play these. And here is Draymond Green being asked about his thoughts on maybe being traded and just the trade market in general.
The front office in the lead up, and you're kind of out of the loop, whatever, at this moment. Do you expect over the next several days to discuss the big picture plans with them?
We'll see. You know, I'm not going to go there and be like, yo, so tell me what y'all doing. You know, same as I always am. My phone's always on. You know, I'm always willing to collaborate in any way I can.
It's pretty obvious who they're going after at this point. Big salaries. When big salaries are being traded for big salaries, almost everybody's name is rumored. Where are you at on your own, I guess, future here?
Oh, I've been here for 14 years. I have no reason to sit and worry about leaving. But if I'm traded, that's what it is. So it is what it is. I ain't losing no sleep, though. I slept great last night. Incredible. I slept longer than I've slept in a long time. So sleep's well. Sleeping good. Yeah. Bed. Yeah. So
Do you catch your breath at all when Steph? I mean, Jimmy's already out, and I know it doesn't.
Oh, and we got cut off there. A little TMI. I don't know what the point was of talking about all the sleep, unless he's trying to tell everybody he's not stressing about being traded. If that was the message, then all right, we heard it. Dre is not worried. Even though Armando, as you mentioned, maybe he should be because he is one of the most in-demand assets on this team, as evident by the fact that he's not the same defender anymore. Safe to say there is a bit of a regression there. People are blown by him time to time, but still elite. The Spurs back-to-back games earlier this season, perfect evidence of that. Sharia, what are your thoughts on Draymond not losing sleep? And one other piece of context to add from tonight's game, after the game, Dre Jr., who's been back in the mix a lot more recently, was reportedly running around on the court, and Draymond got Cade Cunningham to sign an autograph for Dre Jr. Just maybe a heartwarming story. Sheree, your thoughts on Dre and the trade market?
He's supposed to say that. You know, if you're never supposed to let them see you sweat. He better say that. If he's concerned, I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't show that. You know, I mean, I'm sure he thinks about it. I'm not saying that he loses sleep, but I'm sure he's aware. He knows. He knows.
Yeah, it's just like inconvenient to get traded. Like he's got a house here, his family. Like, why would you want to go live in freaking God knows where? You know, like it's not. He's not stressing about like winning or losing right now. Like as that journalist O'Connor you had on here, Connor or whatever, a month ago, said he knows Draymond, and Draymond's been checked out since November. When they lost that Portland game, like he knew the coach didn't do shit over the summer to integrate Jonathan Kuminga. So they're not going to win shit. They're losing to bad teams, and he's checked out. It's all good. Him and Jimmy got paid, so it's just play ball. It's just 2015 Kobe Bryant ball, and he just doesn't want to get traded because his life is here. Like, why would you want to go anywhere? But it's chill. He'll be cool. He's going to get another contract. It's all good. He's not losing sleep. I agree with him.
That's a good point. By the way, Shardoll, apologies. He wanted to bring up the fact that he dropped $1.99. A paid super chat, just asking what are our thoughts on the Warriors' loss. I feel like we've gotten way into that, and Shardoll will bring you on in a little bit. It was entertaining game. I was borderline shocked that the Warriors stayed as close as they did all the way until the end. But context is also important. As Armando, you've been saying, an aim assist one of our audience members who comes on sometimes. The other night, he was trying to make the point that this Detroit team is very legit. I don't know, maybe. But as Armando said earlier, the entire Eastern Conference is garbage. Sharia, you live out east. What is going on with the Eastern Conference? Why is like every team in that conference at like either just horrible or maybe okay, but depending on the night? There's no greatness coming out of the East. What's going on? Why is that, in your opinion?
I don't know. I guess who they picked. I don't know. I mean, I watch both East Coast and West Coast basketball, so I don't know. I mean, I like Detroit. I think Detroit's all right. I like to watch the Knicks, and they're struggling. I'm keeping an eye out for Miami. I like to watch the Magic. I watch Philly. I watch both coasts. I'm not going to say, I mean, the East has always been weaker than the West.
Yeah.
So like I don't spend too much time just harping on that. I just like to enjoy good basketball. I don't care which coast it comes from. It's just that the West Coast is better.
I'm normally with you, but it's turned into a massive disadvantage for the Warriors for their entire dynasty. It's like every year they're in this stacked West, which makes what they've been doing all the more impressive. Meanwhile, whoever they play in the finals has this cakewalk of a season. I feel like if the Warriors were in the East right now, they'd literally be in the discussion as an NBA Finals team. It's just such a gross disadvantage, depending on which conference you play in. And I don't know if it's just something as simple as people just love to go West, and it's just the allure of the West, tying into just themes of individualism, of migration patterns that humanity's typically done with. They always love to go West. I mean, Armando, you're a sociology professor. Of all the research you have, of all the knowledge you have obtained over the years, in your opinion, what is your hypothesis for the West being so superior to the East for 20, 30 years now in the NBA?
I don't know. We can't figure it out. It's one of the greatest mysteries in Western civilization. Nobody
I brought
knows.
this up with David Bierman the other day, with a host of Bierman on Believe, a gambling expert, the man who advised every Warriors fan to bet the over traditionally. I think pretty sure the over hit tonight as well. Yeah, easily hit 131, 124. But I brought this up with him, and I don't know if you folks agree that you look at and let's exclude the NHL because the NHL follows the NBA's organization of divisions and conferences, right? Do they actually? Does the NHL have an East and West? I think they do. I think. Anyways, Major League Baseball and the NFL, they don't do that. Like their two conferences are not geographically based. Whether it's the NFC or the National League, whether it's the AFC or the American League, you still have an East Central West, within those conferences. So you don't really get a chance to see like a geographic disparity, whereas in the NBA, half the teams are on one side of the country, half are on the other. So, and that's what makes me wonder if maybe it's just that simple, that where it's like a human nature kind of thing. And just these athletes, when they have the opportunity to pick where they want to play, they often move west. And I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong about all that. I don't know. Who knows? Do you want to hear from Julian as we start to wrap it up? Julian, Armando, it's now a tie ball game. We got two East Coasters joining us. How are you doing, Julian?
Hello, panel. I just wanted to get on mostly for my little new avatar I got going on. Steph Curry looking fondly in love with Giannis.
That's not a real picture, is it?
Yeah, that's a real picture. It's
Steph actually looked up to Giannis like that, like he's a baby looking up to his parent.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like one of those things that are taken out of context. Like if you take a bunch of pictures all at once, eventually something's going to look awkward.
I mean, you can stick a pacifier in Steph's mouth, and I think you'd still stay in context. Like, mama.
Well, since you guys are on the East Coast topic, Armando brought up a good point. Yeah. So I wasn't looking at the standings. So the narrative, because I'm right next to New York City, is that the Knicks are doing bad. They're actually number 2 in the East. So that tells you, like, when you turn on ESPN and everything, there's like, trade Cat. The Knicks are doing worse than last year. There was even some talk about Mike Brown even being fired and let go. I was like, this is his first year. So the fact they're number 2 and that has that narrative, you just see the overall funk that the East is in, because they're saying that the New York Knicks should be better, even though they're number 2. But on the opposite end, Boston is number 3 and could be number 2 with a win. They're saying they're overachieving because they lost Jason Tatum and they had to trade away a few of their guys. So with Brown leading the way, they're number 2, so they can make it to the finals. And to Armando's point, and Sharia's point as well, of doing right by Kuminga, part of doing right by Kuminga is not trading him to some team to rot away. If you do, like, don't do a 3-way trade and send him to the Wizards or the Jazz or something bottom feeder, because I understand what Armando's saying, that they are afraid of him being successful, because if you trade Kuminga for Wiggins, like swap it straight up, Wiggins is a good role player. But Kuminga instantly Bam is better overall, but Kuminga becomes their best scorer on the Miami Heat right away. And I'm not sure if Hero's playing. I think he's out. But they're 2 games out from being the 4th seed. So imagine the Warriors trade for Wiggins, give up a pick for Wiggins, and how embarrassing would that be if the Heat become the 4th seed and make it all the way to the finals with the coaching of Spoelstra. So I'm not saying Kuminga is the Jimmy Butler game changer when they went to 2 finals, but I think Spoelstra can get something out of Kuminga because he actually talks to his players. He figures out what they're good at. And this goes to my main point of why I clicked on the link. What we're seeing from Gez is that he has a different game than we've seen from him. Mm-hmm. And that lends to all of Kerr's coaching and how he's handled these players. Because before Gez got in this little run, all we've seen of him is hustle and then stand in the corner and shoot that occasional open jump shot. What we're seeing from Gez is that when he drives baseline, he might not be like super athletic, but he's shifty, he's crafty. He'll fake a player out and then go reverse baseline on the opposite end of the basket. He's done that multiple times. So we're seeing a game from Gez that we didn't see before. So that begs, what game does Will Richard have that we haven't seen? I've been hard on Moody, but what game does Moody have that I have not seen? Because when they're put in, is like, you need to do one particular thing, and if you do not do that with our core group of players, then we're going to sit you. And so I'll open up the floor as far as like that perspective for anyone else to jump in.
It's a great perspective. It's you basically just summarize what I've been arguing for like 3.5 years with Kerr. It's if you don't give these guys real opportunities, you have no idea what you have.
The same thing with Trace Jackson.
Like, Gez Santos is getting a run. Huge surprise, he's delivering. Who knows what would happen if Will Richard was if the team committed to 30 minutes a night for him. Who knows what would happen if they committed to 35 minutes a night for Jonathan Kuminga? I'm guessing damn good things.
Yeah, and my thing is, it's not even all about minutes. It's about a coach looking at going to his team and the individual players and saying, what are you good at? Okay, you're good at this thing. I'm going to put you in positions to do what you do. And we don't see that from Kerr. It's you have to do what he wants. In particular, there was something the announcer said that Steve Kerr told somebody that Draymond Green taking as many threes as he is this year is by design. I'm pretty sure
Steve Kerr did say. I heard him say that. Yes,
I think that's by design of the other team. By leaving Draymond open. But Steve Kerr is taking credit for that.
Folks, we haven't talked about Draymond yet. Sheree, I'll start with you because the stat line tonight was impressive, with the exception of him getting fouled out at the end. But he almost single-handedly kept the Warriors in this game with desperation threes that were going in. He was 0 of 6 last game, 0 points. Tonight, 4 of 9 from deep, 9 3-point attempts from Draymond, but he hits 4 of them. Finishes the game with 15 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Sharia, what are your thoughts on Dre's performance tonight? Post-game comments notwithstanding.
I think he was great. The universe works in mysterious ways. Don't bank on that. Just don't bank on that. The fact that we're relying on Draymond Green for offense concerns me.
Not good. Yeah, not good. Armando, what were your thoughts on Draymond's actual performance tonight?
Anytime he shoots an open three, it's by design or the other team. Like that's what the motion offense, the most predictable offense in the league, is getting us. It's getting us corner threes for Draymond Green, Gary Payton, Jimmy Butler, and they're just don't even want to look at that. I mean, to be honest, it's good on Draymond. He takes the shot. He takes the shot. Those other guys don't even look at the rim. What's he supposed to do? People getting on him, like, it's literally the only shot that the offense gets him. Steph Curry is lucky to get a shred of daylight in this offense in 2026. It's like the greatest shooter, top 10 player in the league, supposedly, barely gets a shred of daylight in an offense entirely designed for him.
Mm-hmm.
And only players that look for him first are allowed to play. And he barely gets a shred of daylight. That's our offense that we run. And so people get mad at Draymond for shooting wide open threes. Get out of here. It's ridiculous.
Can I chime in with Armando said? So
No.
Oh, well, okay. I'll say.
I'm kidding you. Go ahead.
I saw it on Reddit today. I took a screenshot, but I don't want to search it down. So apparently, there's a metric out there that Steph Curry has a high. He has an efficient offense, but he takes the most contested shots in the league. So
I thought the offense gets him open. I thought he's so freaking.
He has good percentages, but I think the stat was like he takes the most bad shots in the league as far as the contest and how they are. And also there was another stat as far as he plays with the I guess the teammates that can create the least amount of shots for themselves. I don't know how to explain the metric, but it's like, he leads as far as he can create the most shots, like, dribble off the court, step back, yada, yada. And as far as the teammates, they can't create for themselves. So the metric is that the rest of the team cannot create on their own. And so those are 2 metrics I saw earlier today.
Wow, that's really great. What I love about those metrics is you could use them to support what I just said, or you could use them to support Steve Kerr ball. Like, it's all about the framing, and that is so telling to me that the offense doesn't make anything easier for him. They just run him in the ground, sir, and everybody loves. He runs so much. He's so much in better shape than everybody else. Literally, other teams just walk up, look at our short ass players, and chuck a three and make it without having to run and get tired. And we just run our best player into the ground, and he's got a bum knee. Most predictable stuff I've ever seen, man. Injury ball.
By the way, I finally found that picture you were looking for, Armando. This is what I've been doing the last 10 minutes. in case you're wondering, like, what is that guy doing there? Like, what are you doing? This is what I was doing. I found this picture, and this is the best I could come up with. It was not as easy as I thought it would be. Is this the one you're talking about?
Oh yeah.
Where Kerr's giving the I don't know if it's I don't think condescending is the right word, just patronizing, like pat on the chest. Oh, what?
Can I talk about this for a second?
Of course.
This shit really got me going, man. And it came to mind. It came to mind when Sharia was talking about Draymond Green, and you said that you don't know, you can't really say because you are not there. You didn't see what that felt like for that ref to say that, and I agree with that 100%. We can't really comment on that. I don't know what Draymond's experience was in that moment and what his history with that particular individual has been over the years. But I do know this situation, and I do know what this is because I've been in this situation many times in my life.
Me too. Me too.
With 4 dudes in power that don't know what they're doing, that are mediocre, and they've been mediocre, and no one can say anything about it. And they've been shitting on you publicly, been talking about your low IQ, you don't work, you don't do nothing, and you come out and do well. And they do a publicity stunt on you. Look at the look on Celebrini's face right here. Are you effing kidding me? That is pure, like, are you gonna do anything? Are you gonna do it? Like that, you know what this looks like? It looks like a video of a guy getting pulled over on a stoplight in Alabama. That's what this looks like to me. And the other thing is here, I'll keep talking. And the other thing I noticed when he walked away from this situation, Jonathan Kuminga did a double take, and it meant that he had to walk away from that conversation before Steve Kerr was ready to be done with it. And Steve Kerr had to say something on his way out, and Kuminga was like, oh, okay. And the way Jonathan Kuminga was slouched, his whole body demeanor, the way he was looking at the ground, it's literally like if this was an equal situation where we were man to man in a situation where we had equal power, your hand would not be on me.
Correct.
And in fact, I would do what Draymond said, get your fucking hand out of my face.
Yeah.
Get your hand off my chest, man. But he's literally not in a power. If he does anything negative, if he looks bad in any way, it's going to be on him. And the media is going to act like he's some kind of malcontent. And that to me is pure about power. And I'm not going to say the other word, but
fair.
I saw this and I'm like, I've been in this situation. I know exactly that look on Jonathan Kuminga's face. And I felt my heart went out to him in this moment. And it sickened me to watch this situation. And Steve Kerr should apologize for what he's done to this man. It's personal. And this moment, this PR stunt he did right here, are you fucking kidding me? He should apologize and he should speak on what he did and that he effed up. He's been effing up for 5 years. And that's what it should be. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Anyone else have thoughts? I think you eloquently put it, Sharia.
It's very performative. I noticed it. I heard what he said afterwards when he said that he was in this particular take. He was speaking to him and asking him if he was ready to come out because he had played a lot of minutes. That's what he alleged. But just like you, Armando, I feel the same way. Like you could tell he's looking at him like, I'm off you, sir. That's what it looked like to me. It looks performative. And I think that that's part of Steve Kerr's manipulation, and I do feel like Kuminga started performing too, because there for a while on the bench, he was smiling and clapping like a few games in a row. And I thought to myself, I was like, okay, good. Play the game. Because everybody's playing the game. A lot of people watch the game and are like, this, that, and the other, but I watch the game and then I watch the other game, which is the bench and how he reacts to certain players, what other players are doing. A lot of my takes for myself based on his team are about what's going on the bench, not even how they're playing on the court.
Yep.
It's a whole nother game that they're playing. And I don't think people even think that deep into it. Like, Giannis is not coming. Okay, Giannis is never coming.
No.
This right here speaks loud to him because I'm pretty sure he's been in the same situation in different instances in his life.
Yeah.
He's not playing this game with the Golden State Warriors. He's not, and I don't think he should.
Yep.
Final thoughts on that, or anything for that matter?
Well, I'll say I watched the bench as well, and those in the chat that say, we don't have any evidence of what Curry likes. He might not have said trade Kuminga, but there's also been some reports that the front office hasn't done some things that Curry wanted. But what I see from Curry is that you're sitting next to Pods with your arm around him, giving him hugs, laughing it up, and while you're losing in certain games.
Yep.
And I don't see Steph Curry sitting next to Kuminga. I don't see that kind of encouragement and that jovial brotherhood camaraderie between them two. So, Curry might have never said with words, but his body language says that he might like Kuminga as a person, but Curry doesn't like playing with him, and there are breakdowns on YouTube with that. And my speculation, I have no proof of this, but it's just more of the ego in a man, especially when you're coming towards the end of what your career is. Because Steph Curry, he missed around 2 years in total or more because of his ankles. He was also a 3 or 4 year college player. I'm not quite sure. So he doesn't have the advantage of someone like a LeBron James or first-year college player and someone that stayed healthy their whole career. So he's put up great numbers. He's got his championship, but I think that he's trying to cement more of his legacy. Get to that 30,000 points. Still be talked about as like, hey, look, I'm averaging 27 or 28 at this age, similar to when LeBron's like 39 or 40 doing it. So it's just what I'm seeing with my eyes and the feel of. Because something isn't right, especially the way Kerr coaches his team. Even tonight, we had, I think we had a lineup of Buddy at power forward again, and I put something in chat. I said Steve Kerr is the only coach that would do substitutions when the 5-man lineup out there is going on a run, and it doesn't make sense to me. Gez hot, everyone's hot, and then gotta put something out there that makes me comfortable, and then we end up losing by like 4 or 6 or 10. And and all season it's felt not right. For 3 years it's felt not right. I've said before, I think Kuminga in year 3 proved that he was beyond Wiggins, and he should have came in year 4 as the cemented starter at small forward. There should not have been a debate about that. But we went through that the same. I think last year Kerr did 5 in, 5 out, Kuminga off the bench, and something's not off. So that's what I think Sharia means. Like, we see it; it hasn't been said, but something isn't right when this whole chemistry and dynamic, and that goes to the front office and others. Like, if the chemistry wasn't there, you should have got this kid out a long time ago, because as you saw with that picture Armando broke down, Kuminga, he you got, like, outside of, because I'm not a Warriors listener, like everyone brings up 95.7. I don't listen to them. I don't know what they're talking about, but it seems that they're very homers to Kerr, to Pods, and they're saying these things like, oh, his attitude, like you mentioned, Cy. Everyone else outside the league is saying that he is doing things that they wouldn't have done. As far as they would have either choked Kerr, punched Kerr, either, even did what Jimmy Butler did last year, cause a scene, make things uncomfortable. He is handling this with such professionalism that I think it just lends even more to what kind of player he's going to be when he finally does get that proper respect. And I know, like I say, I want to keep him, but my first instinct as a human, I want him on a different team. I want him on a team that is borderline play-in right now in the East, and I want him to get them into the playoffs. So.
And look, here's the Julian. Thank you so much, brother. I want to start wrapping it up here. Thank you. He just dropped the mic. And then we'll bring Shardoll and wrap it up. Sharia, Armando, I want to touch on this real quick because it's a situation that's they're going to have to face. It's the clock will tick, and expire, and then the Warriors will have to address what's going to happen. And more specifically, I'm referring to this offseason. Like what's going to happen long term? Like, and more specifically, what's going to happen if the Warriors don't trade him? Trade deadline's next Thursday. If that trade deadline comes and goes, and the Warriors have the same team they have now, here's my guess for what happens. Kuminga's back. He's going to play the rest of the year. He can't sit out. I mean, because you can't be insubordinate. You can't damage your reputation. You can't sacrifice paychecks. So if he's healthy, he's going to play. And then there comes the offseason where he has a team option of about $25 million. The Warriors will they're not going to not exercise that because they're not going to let him walk for nothing. They're also not going to exercise it because that means he can walk away for nothing in a year. And his trade value is worth jack shit at that point because you're trading a guy who's going to be an unrestricted free agent 12 months from now. The only scenario I see is the Warriors offering him a new extension, something like 3 years, $100 million, something that's going to make him happy again. Shree, I'll start with you. What do you think is going to happen if Kuminga's on the team past the trade deadline and we roll into summer?
That eventually he's going to lead the team because I don't think Steph's going to make it. And I'm not wishing bad on him. I'm just saying the way that they're playing him is too rough and too hard.
Agreed.
There's still a lengthy amount of the season. When it comes to the playoffs, shit gets aggressive. The stakes are higher. I just don't think he's going to make it. I think he's tired. And I also feel like if he doesn't make it, then Draymond's going to unravel, you know?
But
let's just be real. I do think that that's what's going to happen. And I think he'll get a lot of playing time. I think that he may go for an extension next year when Steve Kerr's not the coach.
Exactly. But here's the thing, and I'm talking because we see how the Warriors operate, right? Like they're not stupid people. They try not to make bad decisions. If they were ready to let Kuminga go for nothing, he would be traded by next week for a bag of potato chips. I'm talking about what happens if he's on this team come the offseason. They're not going to just let him walk. That's not going to happen. And that's the scenario you're putting yourself in if you exercise that team option. You're not going to not exercise the team option because you're losing him again for nothing. You might as well trade him now. That, like, to me, there's only one conclusion here, and that is, and I have not asked Aaron Turner this scenario because I'm going to wait until we get to that point. I want to see what happens at the trade deadline first, but I don't think they're going to take a hard stand to the Warriors going, all right, you win, Kerr's going to be gone, here's $100 million. Armando, Kuminga's not going to say no to that, right? My guess is he's going to sign a contract extension, and he's going to be the focal point of this team at least next year alongside Stephen Curry and maybe long-term. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. And you know, Sai, to your point, even last summer when they were negotiating with Jonathan Kuminga in July, it was leaked by Slater that Jonathan Kuminga's camp was well aware that Steve Kerr was not being offered a contract extension. And I think it's pretty clear to me that it's highly unlikely Steve Kerr is going to be re-signed. I don't believe he'll be retained. I think it's going to be a mutual. It's going to be like go off into the sunset. It ain't going to be like an old Yeller situation, which is really what it is. And instead it's going to be a promotion, or he wants a new start, or Steph Curry's going to go somewhere. I don't know, but they are going to call Steph Curry's bluff that he's unwilling to play for another coach. And I do think, you know, with or without Giannis, like Jonathan Kuminga is going to get a little bit of runway here.
That was old Yeller getting shot, by the way. This is the sound effect I have. It's awful. Sorry. Go.
And
it's awful. It's terrible. I need something better. Go ahead. Sorry.
And you know, next year, the thing is, with another coach playing Jonathan Kuminga alongside Giannis and giving him a free reign to shoot threes.
Sorry about that. Misfired. I pulled an Alec. I apologize. Continue.
In order to set up the drive, which he's not allowed to do, he cannot. The whole league knows Jonathan Kuminga is not allowed to shoot, so they could beat him to the spot. And allow a coach bringing him in that will give him a runway. They'll see what he can do, and he'll get a contract extension without the coach. But my concern, though, and this is kind of to your point, Shri, is that if he gets played the rest of this year, he's going to be playing power forward significant minutes alongside trash 3-guard lineups. And that's how he keeps getting hurt. He twisted his ankle last year guarding Triple J, 260 pounds. And, he's doing everything out there. That's why he got knee tendonitis, which is a fatigue injury. He was doing everything for the first 2 weeks of the season. He was guarding everybody, rebounding, scoring, defending, everything. He got knee tendonitis because he wasn't properly built up for 5 years. In order to play 30 minutes in the league, you got to be built up for 5 years in order to get there. And they didn't do that. They just threw him out there. They did that for Pods. Pods can't play. Mm-hmm. But he's going to keep getting hurt on this team. And so I'm not exactly convinced it's going to work out for him here, even if there is a new coach and a runway side. So I see your point, Si. I'm just concerned about this issue with Jonathan Kuminga being played out of position with 3 guards. I always repeat this stuff, but I really think it matters.
No, it does. Ball
is more on
does,
ball.
right.
Is small ball, is injury ball. It's all related.
Right.
I just don't know how much power Kuminga has in that situation where, like, if he can just come out and say no, like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I don't know if that's a realistic scenario. I think if Kerr wants him to play the 4, he's going to have to play the 4. Now he could, like, pull a bunch of gimmicks and fake injuries left and right and do all sorts of.
I don't think he'll do that.
Yeah, I don't think he'll do that either. I just think he'll suck it up and well, we've been going for a long ass time. Do you two mind if we quickly bring on our special closer of the program? I know
I'll probably head out. I'll probably head out if you're gonna do that.
No Shardoll for you?
I'm good.
All
I
right,
wish
brother.
you guys the best.
Any final thoughts?
No, just only thing I'll say is injury ball's not over. Steph Curry, it's not over, and we shall see.
All right, man. And Armando, one more time, people can follow you. I don't think I mentioned this once. People can follow you on Threads at Mando_man10. They can follow you on Twitter at Armando Lara M as in Mary. You have the Spreewell Was Right channel on YouTube.
Yeah, we keep uploading videos every week to our YouTube thing, but we keep getting copyright stricken. So we're gonna start just chatting, me and my cousins, about what we're thinking for the week. So
dude, F the NBA, man.
Yeah, well, I think we still have 57 subscribers, so check us out on Spreewell Was Right.
You got to start somewhere, brother. You got to, but the copyright strikes are so annoying, man. They drive me up the wall. It's like, what are you trying to do, NBA? Don't act like you're that big time. You're not there. You're not the NFL. You have a lot of room still to grow. You have not made yourself cement proof, meaning you're not like locked in as a sport that is guaranteed success. Like, you could easily turn into heavyweight boxing. Like, that could easily happen to you. Do not pretend the free marketing that all these shows provides for you is not invaluable. It's asinine, man. Like, the NBA is 1 or 2 injuries away, 1 or 2 trends away from being irrelevant. That's the modern world. Institutions who take their positions for granted, man, that is idiocy to believe otherwise, I think. So, and I bring that up because, again, stop with the copyright bullshit, man. Like, what? Side note, you could contest that. You should contest it. Contest it under fair use. That's what Awful Coaching told me. He said he does.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he said he just immediately disputes everything with fair use, and the NBA doesn't do shit, and you just have to wait 30 days for that.
I mean, it's sad now. I mean, it's like now it's like literally us watching the game, and we're just like, I mean, we sit around talking about how the best way they should tank, the best proper way to tank. I mean, we've been talking about that for like 6 months. So, I don't know if you guys really want to see that, but we'll just talk about it. You don't need to see us like ripping on pods for the upteenth time, and like it's not pretty. Just say it, put it that way.
Dude, the best ever, chill out. This guy best ever in the chat just hates Kuminga. I don't understand the why of that. Best ever, will you, at least since you never want to come on the show, at least write in the chat, why do you hate Kuminga so much? Don't sit here and tell me it's because he sucks. He doesn't in reality suck. The only people that think he sucks are Kerr apologists. And if you're not a Kerr apologist and you think he sucks, why is your opinion in defiance of literally every player, current and former, in the NBA? In other words, why do you think you know more than every current and former NBA player, none of whom thinks he sucks? A lot of them want to see what he's going to do so we all can finally figure out what the ceiling is, but nobody is saying he sucks. Why are you saying that? I'm just curious. Is it really that simple? Is it just what Mr. Saatsaz says? He's just a hater? Is it just an iced tea thing where just hate is just you got to do
I'm
it?
mad at everything, man. Brother got a nice car, man. Why you got a car, man? I only got one car. Why you got 3 cars or a wife or all that, man? That's played out, man. I hate on it till he's totally broke and ain't got nothing like me. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, that's what real hating is all about, man.
You iced tea? Is that what it comes down to? Man, he's got 2 cars. I got no cars. I hate him. Is that what it is? Come on, man. What's going on here? See, this doesn't make sense. Best Ever writes the excuse is because he puts up a ton of empty calorie stats. At least they're stats. Like, at least he's putting up stats. Side note, at least he has a ring. Dude was starting games in the postseason on that title team. Why are you going out of your way to hate him? Why do you dislike him so much? I don't get it. I don't get it. If he's an empty stat guy, that is not a good enough reason for you to be going out of your way the way you do to hate on the kid. Why is that the reason you hate him? What is wrong with empty stats on a bad team? Are you the same guy that's advocating for Michael Porter Jr.? Because that's what he's doing. Are you asking for that trade? Don't be a hypocrite. Come on now. Come on now. Anyways, Armando, are you done? You good?
I'm good, man. It was great talking with you,
All right, brother.
I appreciate it.
We'll see you next week. Do the Warriors play next Friday? Because that's usually when we have a harder time. You haven't updated your background that much tonight. So the Warriors do not play next Friday. So we'll have a regular happy hour. Our Friday happy hour next week, Armando, is going to be sandwiched between Phoenix and the Lakers.
And it'll be after the trade deadline.
Hey now.
But we're gonna go on. Let's go on at 4:00 next Friday.
Hey, let's do it. Sure, why not? Let's do whatever you want. I'm down.
All right,
My
guys.
day is free.
Take care.
All right, brother. Bye, Armando. That is Armando Lara. Again, follow him on Threads at Mando_man10. Follow him on Twitter at Armando Lara, M as in Mary. Sharia, are you ready for a quick hit of the greatness that is Shardoll?
Of course.
Beautiful. Speaking of empty stats, let's bring up the opposite of that. This man delivers. All his stats are leading to wins. And he's a stay-at-home son. I envy that.
Stay-at-home son.
We're always in the danger zone when this guy's on the show. Shardoll, how are you doing, my friend?
Hi, Sai. Hi, Sharia. It's great joining you both on the platform. As the Golden State Warriors suffer a 131-124 loss against the Detroit Pistons from Chase Center in downtown San Francisco, California. What were your thoughts on the performance by the Warriors tonight?
Disappointing. Sharia, what were your thoughts?
I think they played as hard as they could.
I think they did play hard. I mean, they would not be fighting till the end. They were down by 20 in the third quarter and somehow managed to still make it a close game. Some other stats I did not touch on earlier in the show that's worth mentioning. The Detroit Pistons out-rebounded the Warriors tonight, 53-42 collectively, and they won the points in the paint battle tonight. This was a wide margin there of 62-40. So the Piston size showing it was causing issues for your Warriors. Shardoll, what's new in your life?
I'm a diehard Warriors fan. The whole Jonathan Kuminga situation and Steve Kerr is a whole blotched up scenario. Jonathan Kuminga doesn't want to be on the Warriors. He wants to leave. He's fed up with Steve Kerr not giving enough minutes. He's going to get traded by the trade deadline, and he's going to go to the Sacramento Kings.
Sharia, have you ever had a bad boss in your life that Steve Kerr reminds you of?
Yeah.
Me too. Shardoll, have you?
I've never had a bad boss before, but I had a bad coworker at my work. Like I was at Great America, I was working. And one of my coworkers was giving me a hard time. He was saying go faster, and he was saying like move faster. Like, you're so slow. Go faster. Like, he was like, he was saying, like, do you have it? Like, you're so slow. Move faster. And I was offended by that.
What were you doing that he thought you were slow at?
I was working at my job, and then he was saying
what was your job? Like, what were the tasks that you had to complete?
No, I was working at a game at my work. It was a soccer challenge where we had to shoot soccer balls into a net, and my job was to pick up all the balls and put them back on the rack. And he was saying I'm too slow, like I was not moving that fast, and I was like. And then I told my supervisor about him, and then they separated me from that associate.
Good for you. You should have also told the guy.
Fuck you.
Yeah. But,
and I was so offended because, like, you know, at work, I like to see people, you know, that treat me well when I'm at work. I don't want some associate who's being being an absolute, you know, idiot who's telling me what to do at work. I'm like. When I go to work, I go there to have a good time and see all my coworkers, not have some guy ruin my day.
Yeah, I feel you on that. It's messed up.
But you think the Warriors are gonna bounce back after this loss? I mean, they go up against the Philadelphia 76ers on Tuesday.
Sharia, that's a lot of days off. Good chance for Steph and Curry to rest that aching knee. And then Philly comes in town Tuesday. Shardoll, what are your thoughts on the Philadelphia 76ers?
As a Warriors fan, the Philadelphia 76ers really worry me because Joel Embiid is having one of the best seasons he's having so far on Philadelphia, and Tyrese Maxey. So yeah, that's gonna be a tough matchup for us to go up against Philadelphia.
Shardoll, do you mind if we and Sharia and Shardoll, if you don't mind, we'll do this hit, and then Sharia and I will do the scoreboard to wrap it up tonight.
So as a San Jose Sharks fan, I'm so excited that the Sharks have selected 4 Olympians to the
yeah. Sharia, do you follow hockey at all?
The San Jose Sharks have selected 4 Olympians for the Milano Cortina Olympics. They have selected Philip Kurashev from Switzerland, Macklin Celebrini from Team Canada, Alexander Wenberg from Team Sweden, and Pavel Regenda from Team Slovakia. So wish all of those men good luck. It's an honor to represent your native countries, and playing for your countries it's an honor. I mean, it's an honor for all of them to play for the country they represent.
Shardoll, if you don't mind, I want to start a new segment, and I'm like 2 shows. I've not done 2 shows without doing this, and I want to at least read one email. And I feel like this email is apropos having both of you here at the moment. So let's. It's a new segment. Again, if you ever want to email us, the email address is super easy. It's warriors24pod@gmail.com. Here's the address right there. And that's all you have to do if you ever want to get your thoughts across. We're doing a new segment. Instead of me just trying to reply to all of you, and I'm not always great at that, forgive me. We're just going to read your emails on the show with our new email segment.
Letters. We get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters.
All right. So this email comes from a longtime Golden Dazer. His name is Nick Fensky. Nick, love you, brother. And he writes, loving the fan interaction on the show. I had a thought about a possible show episode subject that would be interesting. The subject is, who should be the Warriors' next head coach? I threw the question out to AI this morning, and it spit out a candidate that piqued my interest. It's someone with championship coaching experience. They have Bay Area ties. And the suggestion is, hold on. I think he put it at the very bottom. God damn it. He didn't actually, do you folks, have you heard of a name called Todd Golden? Apparently, no. Chad GPT thinks Todd Golden should be the next head coach of the Golden State Warriors. Todd Golden is currently the head coach of the Florida Gators. Okay, that's who he is. But all kidding aside, Nick Fensky, love you. Thank you.
Sai, so
Who should
for
be
the
the next
49ers, the 3 defensive coordinators that the 49ers have selected is Sean McDermott from the Buffalo Bills, Raheem Morris from the Atlanta Falcons, and Jim Schwartz from the Cleveland Browns.
I think.
Who do you think is going to be the next defensive coordinator for the 49ers?
None of them. They're going to go in-house. That's already a foregone conclusion. But Shardoll, who should be the next head coach of the Warriors?
The next head coach for the Golden State Warriors should be Terry Stotts.
Oh, Sharia, who's on your mind for next head coach of the Warriors?
Mike Malone.
I like that one too. Did you hear him tonight on the broadcast?
I didn't.
He made one take, which was that the Warriors should help Stephen Curry while he still has skills. That was the one bold opinion we heard tonight.
So the Golden State Warriors are going through a roller coaster ride. They lose games and they win games and they lose games and they win games. I'm like, what is this whole roller coaster ride type of thing with the Warriors? Like, can't they just win games in a row and go on a streak of wins? They have to go on a streak of wins. That's the only way they're gonna reach the postseason. If they keep losing like this and keep being consistent and losing, they're not gonna go to the promised land. And the promised land is the NBA Finals.
Shardoll, final question for you, sir, and then I'm going to ask you to promote your YouTube channel, and we'll call it a night. Are the Warriors going to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo?
The Warriors are going to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo. I would love for the Warriors to get him. It would be a great pairing with Stephen Curry and Moses Moody and Trace Jackson Davis. So I would love Giannis to come over here. And I know many people, many fans are saying that isn't. There's a very, very likely chance that he's going to come to the Bay.
That's what I'm asking you. Do you think it's going to happen?
It's going to happen, but all those haters are saying Giannis is not going to come to the Bay. Forget about all those haters. Yes, you have a lot of haters on your show, a lot of bots on your show.
They're bots.
I hate all those bots.
Hey. Really bots.
When I do my YouTube channel, I get a lot of bots on my channel, and I need a moderator to come on my channel. So anytime I get bots, Sai can be my moderator. He can kick out all the bots from my channel because I get a lot of bots, and I'm very fed up with all the bots.
I hate the bots too. Before we let you go, Shardoll, one more time, promote your YouTube.
Stay at home, son.
Yeah, SGA Sports Talk channel. Where are you at with subs right now?
My YouTube channel is SGA Sports Talk channel. I'm at 520 subscribers, 80 subs away from 600.
Hey now!
And make sure to subscribe to Golden Days in reference to the 1993 Matthew McConaughey movie Dazed and Confused. Sai makes some really great content on Golden Days. He comes live after every Golden State Warriors game, home or away. It's always great that you make me the closer. I'll look forward to joining you on the February 3rd game against the Philadelphia 76ers. That's going to be a good game. I'm going to give my score prediction for the Sixers and Warriors game before I leave for the night. You and Shuri can go over the scoreboard.
Love it.
So I'm going to go Warriors 155. The Philadelphia 76ers 100. Steph Curry's going to have 40 points, 10 rebounds, and 13 assists. He's going to go 8 of 9 from the field and 8 of 8 from three-point land.
Shardoll, before we let you go, Shreya, what are your thoughts on that prediction? It's a good one, right?
I know that's right. It's a good one.
Shardoll, before we let you go, this is the first weekend in ages where there's no football. I know you love your football. So what is Shardoll, the man who if you're around Shardoll, you're in the danger zone.
Stay at home, son.
Yeah. So
the Super Bowl
what danger zone look like this weekend?
The Super Bowl 60 is between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. I'm going New England Patriots winning 45-10 over Seattle. I'm going Drake May with 500 plus yards, 5 touchdowns, no picks.
Wow. All right.
Drake May is going to demolish Sam Darnold.
Shardoll,
I'm gonna after the Seahawks beat the Patriots beat the Seahawks, I'm gonna go on ChatGPT and I'm gonna make a picture of Drake May holding the head of Sam Darnold up in the air.
Okay.
And there's gonna be blood all over.
Okay. You're getting too excited, but we love you. Ease up on the blood talk, okay? Like
No, but I love those. But I'm gonna make a ChatGPT picture of May holding up Darnold's head. I'm gonna send that picture to you, and then you can show that that picture on the show.
All right, we'll see. Shardoll, love you, brother. Thank you. And we'll see you at the latest next Tuesday, right?
I'll see you on Tuesday. After the Sixers and Warriors game.
Beautiful. Say goodbye to Sharia. She loves you. I know that for a fact.
Bye, Sharia. I'll see you for the Warriors and Sixers game if you come on.
Okay. Good night.
Beautiful. That was a good call by Shardoll. Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Good job. Go subscribe to him. It makes his life. It's the least we can do for the entertainment that he brings to our program. SGA Sports Talk channel. Sharia, are you ready for a little scoreboard check before we go?
Sure.
Beautiful. And this gives us a chance to see what storylines are around the NBA. And we check the scoreboard. Is this a Friday for you, or are you like me where days don't matter? It just depends on the work schedule as a whole. Like do you get to enjoy the weekend?
My little girl has ballet on Saturday morning, so I get up early on Saturday morning. So it's 3:35 right now. I'll probably get up at 8:00. And get her to dance before 10. And then after that, I rest the rest of the day.
So what is the weekend for you?
Yeah.
With the exception of getting up to take your daughter to a ballet.
Yeah. Yeah, I just kick it all day and watch Netflix and catch up on my podcast and what the teams are doing around the NBA. My husband cooks on Saturday. My daughter runs around feral. And I just chill and watch the NBA stuff.
Beautiful. What's the latest on the Netflix tip? Any recommendations?
I haven't watched anything recently. I was watching Bad Influencer a little bit, but I could never seem to finish a whole, season of anything. But I was watching that.
What's that about? I don't think I've even heard of it.
It's about just these influencer moms that are getting kids to do skits on YouTube and not paying them and working them long hours and, those people that just are obsessed with attention and clicks and likes and stuff. So, and just basically overworking these kids, child labor laws being broken left and right. So that's what it's about.
Makes me think of all these child stars in whatever form of entertainment, and oftentimes you see their lives as they get older, and it usually just ends up a total train wreck. And there is never enough attention on the parents who put these children in these situations for their own selfish reasons, for their own to try and make up for their own insecurities. It's toxic. It's awful parenting. And again, you don't see enough exposure of that because these kids are getting harmed. Right? Like if a child is on one of these Disney shows, for example, I don't think that's a good thing, if that makes sense. Like I don't know. I'm sure there's exceptions and some kids it came out fine, but it seems bad. Well, the NBA. Well, I hope you have a great weekend. I'm glad you get to. So you Saturday and Sunday you get to just sleep and chill, with the exception of ballet.
Yeah, Sunday I go to my mother-in-law's house and we eat dinner with my mother-in-law, and then I chill on Sundays too. My husband rests and I chill. My daughter runs feral, and then she's back on it on Monday. We just let her run feral the whole weekend because she's off school.
Beautiful. Good plan. She's off school. Why is she off school?
On the weekends.
Oh, on the weekend. Okay, I was like, what vacation am I missing? Okay. Well, that sounds like an amazing weekend. Thank you for the painting the picture. That sounds just amazing. Bravo to you. I'm very happy for what sounds like an unbelievably blessed scenario. On that note, we're not going to dive deep into it yet. There were a lot of games on a Friday across the National Basketball Association. Some of these having a direct impact on the Golden State Warriors, some of them not. And we'll go through it. We start with the nation's capital, where the Los Angeles Lakers put a good thumping on the Washington Wizards. Final score 142-111. Luka Doncic apparently fine after taking that weird spill in Cleveland. I did not know, by the way, Sharia, until that happened. And in case you missed what I'm talking about, Luka Doncic, when the Lakers and Cavaliers played 2 days ago, the Cavaliers court is raised. And I didn't know that. It's like, has that always been a thing?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. And it made me think of like Final Four games, like March Madness, because you usually see that in college basketball for the big like tournament finales. They place these special courts on whatever the venue is, and sometimes there's like a almost like a precipitous drop off the court into the bleacher, the stands, and where the teams are sitting, where the fans are. I don't typically see a court with like a step. Like that's weird to me. Apparently that's how Cleveland rolls. And Luka Doncic takes this awkward step off that ledge, and thankfully didn't hurt himself seriously, but very bizarre situation. Again, Cleveland, there you go. Luka was fine because tonight he poured in 37 points, 11 rebounds, 13 assists. That's a triple-double in the 142-111 win for the Lakers, who improved to 29-18. The Wizards dropped to 12-35. Alex Sarr, my dream trade target, which I know the Wizards will not do, but that's my personal, that is my fantasy player that the Warriors could acquire for Kuminga, although that's not going to happen. He had 16 points, 6 rebounds in the Wizards' loss. A game that was on national TV preceding the Warriors and the Pistons tonight. I'm sorry. The Magic 130-120 winners tonight over the Toronto Raptors. The Magic improving to 25-22. The Raptors dropping to 29-21. Desmond Bane 32 points in the win. Brandon Ingram 35 points in the loss. Sharia, did you see Desmond Bane body slam a player that almost started a full-on brawl? I think it was Quentin Grimes, and he just went bloop. And I don't think he was even trying, but you know, he's got like the T-Rex arms, but he's also super yoked. Just body slam Quentin Grimes.
I didn't see that.
It was a good optic.
I did watch the game tonight, though. I did watch the game, but I didn't see that.
Was it an entertaining game to you?
Yeah.
Good. I asked that because I'm glad that like some Eastern Conference teams are putting out a decent product. Speaking of Eastern Conference teams who are doing well this year, the Boston Celtics were hosting the lowly Sacramento Kings, and they beat them as expected, 112-93. The final, Peyton Pritchard, 29 points, 8 assists in the win for the Celtics, who improved to 30-18. Raynaud, I think what is his first name, Maxime Raynaud, the rookie center, 14 points, 14 boards in the loss for the Sacramento Kings, who dropped to 12-38. In your opinion, Sharia, is there a worst situation of the 30 NBA teams than the Sacramento Kings? Maybe a better way of getting an answer from you for this is me posing a question. Would you work for the Kings if they offered you a job, like a GM job? Would you say yes?
Yeah. I guess, yeah. Absolutely.
So you'd be cool with coming up with an awesome trade only for Vivek to come into the room and go, "No, I'm good on that. Why don't we go give up 5 first and get Lauri Markkanen instead?" Like, you'd be okay with that?
You know, I know that a lot of people have a lot to say about the Kings, but I enjoy watching them. Even if they win or they lose, I do enjoy watching them. I enjoy looking at what they could possibly be. Because I think they have good pieces. It's just something's going on over there. We don't know what it is, but I do think they have good pieces.
We do.
So I don't mind watching them. You know, it's the Wizards I can't stand.
They're the Wizards of the West, and the problem is obvious. It's the owner. He's way too hands-on, and he's calling all the shots there. It's an ugly situation. But I appreciate your optimism. I imagine Kings fans love to hear that too. The New York Knicks, one of the second closest team to Sharia, right? The Brooklyn Nets are closer, correct?
No.
Oh.
I'm in Hudson County, so it takes me 27 minutes to get to Madison Square Gardens.
I stand corrected.
It takes me 42 minutes to get to the Barclays in Brooklyn, so I'm closer to Madison Square
So
Gardens.
the closest team to you, Sharia, the New York Knicks, victorious tonight And this game helped the Warriors. They beat the Portland Trailblazers at Madison Square Garden, 127-97 the final. OG Anunoby, 24 points, 6 rebounds in the win. Shaedon Sharpe, 26 points in the loss. The Knicks improving to 30-18. They seem to be back on track. The Portland Trailblazers dropping to 23-26. Sharia, the Knicks are the team that's favored to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. And on that note, I want to see if FanDuel has a line on that. But in your opinion, is anybody getting Giannis? I don't think the Knicks have the assets to make a serious move. What are your thoughts? Is Giannis going to go anywhere, or is he going to stay with the Bucks until the summer?
I think if he goes anywhere, he'll go to New York. His mom did just post a picture today of him back in the day in the Miami Heat arena. I don't know if that means anything.
I think it does.
I do too.
Mom's not getting involved unless something serious is happening, right? I mean,
Exactly. I think it's between New York and it's between Miami. And if not, he'll be a Buck.
Have you ever been to South Florida, and more specifically Miami Beach?
Yeah. It's not my thing.
It's beautiful.
You think so?
I think so from the perspective of if I had Giannis money, I could see it being paradise.
Yeah. If I was rich, that'd be different. But yeah, it's beautiful. And I think he likes a strict regimen. You know, some people don't like that, but I think some people do excel in that. And I think he's one of those people.
I wholeheartedly agree with you there. Side note, FanDuel does not have a betting line on where Giannis is going to go, at least not to the best of my knowledge. I'm looking through it. Don't see it. There is a line for the Warriors regular season wins. Sharia, what would be your guess that FanDuel has for the Warriors as the over-under for wins currently? The Warriors tonight, by the way, with the loss, dropped to 27-23. What do you think the OU is, if you had to take a guess? The last time we touched on this, it was 42.5. The highest this year was 51.5. Congrats to anyone who bet the under on that. What do you think where it stands at currently?
It's so hard. I couldn't tell you where FanDuel has it because I don't know where I have it.
It's all good. It's 42.5. That's what they have, meaning the Warriors with currently a record of 27-23. If you think the Warriors are going to win 16 more games, that's the over. And how many games are so 27-23? Well, let me do the math here. There are 32 games remaining in the regular season. So if the Warriors go 16-16, 500, the over will hit. If they go 15-17 or worse, the under will hit. We shall see.
Under.
We shall see. Yeah, no, the under is what I'd lean to. A few more games on a busy Friday night. The New Orleans Pelicans victorious tonight in a rather ugly one, hosting the Memphis Grizzlies, 114-106 the final there. Excuse me, Derek Queen, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists in the win. Jaren Jackson Jr., 16 points, 9 rebounds, 6 steals in the loss. The Pelicans improving to 13-37. The Grizzlies dropping to 18-28. Sharia, when I see all these teams and I'm reading all these scores, one of the biggest thoughts that keeps coming into my head is, why are there not more trades going on? And more specifically, I look at those two teams, Memphis and New Orleans, and if they stand pat and do nothing, make sense. It's bizarre. Or is it? I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. Didn't they say that Memphis is looking to trade y'all?
They are, but it's one thing to look. It's another thing to actually do it. That's where I'm like a little. The trade deadline's 6 days away. I mean, do we have to wait for these guys to get desperate and pull triggers with as they're sweating?
You know what? No, I feel like in the East, they just make the trade. They don't do all that talking and speculation and rumors and all that. You know, all that.
They take action.
Too much talking. They just trade them and they keep it moving. Whereas in the West, it's all the rumors and the speculation and all that. They don't do that in the East. You just get sold.
They think they're too smart for their own good. Well, the Warriors, in terms of the standings, who they're looking up at right now, Well, I was about to say it's the Phoenix Suns. They are looking up to the Phoenix Suns, but the Phoenix Suns right now are currently the 6th seed in the Western Conference, and that it was helped largely by tonight's win over the Cleveland Cavaliers at home. Those are 2 straight impressive wins for the Suns. They beat Detroit at home last night. They beat Cleveland tonight in Phoenix, 126-113 the final. Dylan Brooks, 27 points in the win. Jared Allen, 12 points, 7 rebounds in the loss for Cleveland, who drops to 29-21. The Suns improving to 30-19. Like, Cleveland is a team, for example, where I feel like you should make a trade. Like, there's something just off there. Like you got to shake that up a little bit and either make Evan Mobley your primary focus in the front court, and that means trading Jared Allen. Maybe it's time to trade Darius Garland. I don't know. You got to do something. It's weird to just stand pat and just be complacent. Denver Nuggets. Nikola Jokic was back tonight, first time in a month, after that scary and thankfully not too serious knee hyperextension he suffered last month. They beat the LA Clippers tonight, 122-109. Nikola Jokic, 31 points, 12 rebounds, 3 steals in the win. James Harden, 25 points, 9 assists in the loss. The Clippers, and that helps the Warriors as well. The Clippers dropped to 22-25. The Nuggets improved to 33-16. Sharia, what are your thoughts on the Nuggets? Because everyone seems to think it's going to be them or OKC for the championship. What are your thoughts on that? Is there another team that should be mentioned? Maybe is Denver, in your mind, even better than OKC? What are your thoughts?
I like Denver. I like Denver a lot. I've always liked Denver. I think Denver is they're clicking on all cylinders, even without the Joker. They were clicking.
And now they have him back.
And now they have him back. I admire Peyton because he is evolved, and that happens when you have a team and a coach that believes in you, an organization that believes in you.
Yeah.
You could have seen the same with Kuminga, but that's neither here nor there. But I like the Nuggets. I enjoy watching them. I watch them a lot.
Yeah, to me, the Nuggets I think they'll beat OKC. If both teams are healthy, my pick is the Nuggets. I thought they should have won last year, and they didn't because Aaron Gordon, the hamstring injury kept him out of that game 7. And there was just too much pressure on Jokic to carry a very thin team. They had the coaching upheaval midway through the season last year. To me, I know OKC's the trendy popular pick, the odds-on favorite. Give me Denver. I think they're going to win it all if they're healthy. I don't agree with this take from the Exon for no, saying that the Warriors are lucky that they're still in the Bay because of Stephen Curry and that Oracle Arena was falling apart. No, it wasn't. Oracle Arena was not like a brand new stadium, but it wasn't falling apart. Like, they could have still been playing there right now and everything would have been fine. I strongly disagree. I apologize with that sentiment. Is Chase Center beautiful? Yes. Was it a necessity? No. I know you're not in the Bay Area loop, but did you ever get any inkling that Oracle Arena was falling apart, or is going to be like a hazard? Or I don't even know what that means. It was not falling apart. I don't know why you're saying that.
I don't know, because I've never been there, but I will say this. The Oracle crowd versus Chase is a big difference. So I don't know.
It is very different. It's unfortunate. I noticed that very clearly. One more score, I'm sorry, and then Sharia will say goodbye. The Brooklyn Nets winners tonight at the Utah Jazz. Oh, that was a dandy. What a shame we missed that game. How is that game not on ESPN tonight instead of Warriors Pistons? I'm being facetious. 109-99 the final. Brooklyn improving to 13-34. Utah dropping to 15-34. That might have been a match of the 2 worst teams in the NBA, not named the Washington Wizards or the Sacramento Kings. And that's your scoreboard. Did we forget anything? Are we done? Any final thoughts, Sharia? Anything you want to promote?
Oh, just, Navia.shop, my nail lacquer.
Yeah.
Still out there. Otherwise than that, no. Just looking forward to this trade deadline.
There's the QR code right there for Navia. And it's Navia.shop. It's Navya is how you spell it. And so is that your business, or is that like your items as part of a bigger thing?
No, that's my company.
Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing, so Navia is the products that we're seeing on a bunch of TV shows as well?
No, but it has been in Italian Vogue, British Vogue, American Vogue, W Magazine, and Elle Magazine, and ID Magazine.
Hell yeah, that's impressive. Are you a big like a connoisseur yourself? Like you work behind the scenes, primarily with hair, correct? For TV and film. Are you also like do you love watching it? You said you're going to watch Netflix this weekend, but is that a strong interest of yours, or is that just something you're going to do this weekend and normally you don't binge Netflix? And
I watch a lot of YouTube and I watch a lot of documentaries. I don't watch scripted television for the most part. I do watch Gilded Age, so I do like Gilded Age. That's probably the only scripted television that I do watch. Everything else, as far as like episodics on network or Netflix streaming, I usually it's not that I don't like it, it's just I have an eye that I'm watching continuity. I can't get into the story because I'm too busy watching continuity and lighting, or stuff like that. Like I'm really big on watching lighting and continuity, and so it ruins me watching something. It just ruins it for me.
And the professor who was with us all night saying, "You're still on." Yes, that's my fault, Shreya. I'm gonna let you go right now. I maybe that's an issue of mine, shutting this big yapper. But I brought that up because I was curious to know if you had opinions on award season. Because there's a lot of
award season.
Yeah, do you? I mean, like, are there any movies or anything that stick out? I feel like is Hamnet the favorite? Is that what that movie's called?
I'm not sure. I haven't really tapped into award season like that. Like I might watch some red carpet stuff here and there, or if there's something that's up for an award that my peers have worked on or I've worked on, then I'll watch it. But for the most part, I just watch the red carpet.
Beautiful. And Armando, are you impressed when you watch the red carpet? Like, do you look at these artists and think, I can do better than that?
No, I mean,
okay, it's not a competition.
It's not for me.
Okay.
I mean, I'm already here. I'm not competing with anybody. I'm just thankful because I worked really hard to get here.
Hell yeah.
So I definitely don't look at it like that. Like I appreciate everyone's work. I learn a lot. I'm inspired sometimes, and sometimes I'm just, judging from my couch like everyone else.
Beautiful. And Armando mentions before we go that the U.S. Open, the women's final is on right now, and I'm going to go watch that as well. I'm a tennis fan. Shreya, thank you. At the absolute latest, we're back on Tuesday. Something tells me we'll have a show before then. That's a big gap. Again, who knows? Maybe a trade will happen. Maybe just an interesting thought or an interesting occurrence will take place, and we'll have to jump on and cover it. Maybe we'll bring a good guest on the show. I'm planning some great guests for All-Star Week because there's going to be a decent amount of inactivity. Ramona Shelburne of ESPN comes to mind largely because I'm watching the show that she was an executive producer on. It's called Clipped, and I'm 4 episodes in. There's 2 remaining. It's an FX program, and it's all about Donald Sterling and his fall as owner of the LA Clippers. I completely forgot, for example, Shreya, I don't know if you remember this or if you even have a memory of this. I imagine you do, but I completely spaced on the fact that the first tape of Sterling, where he's saying all this like just vile racist shit, came out during the Clippers Warriors series. In 2014. Like I forgot all about that until seeing the series, and I was like, oh yeah, they got like an actor playing Steph, and totally just spaced on that. Did you remember? Was that an obvious thing to you? And okay,
I remember because it was like between a rock and a hard place about playing.
Exactly, and so they get into that. There's a lot of the shows about the woman, her name is V, I think, the assistant to Donald Sterling who leaked the tapes, and she's a character. There's the dynamic of Sterling and his wife. The wife is like so naive, and she has her own issues. Like she's not toxic like he is, but she just goes along with so much, and just being oblivious to just how wrong and evil Sterling was. I think Sterling passed away eventually. I think it was he's no longer with us. I don't know if the wife is still, but crazy show. And so I have 2 more episodes remaining, and then I'm gonna bring Ramona on so we can talk about that and get her latest thoughts on the Warriors. So that's all coming up. Otherwise, anything? Are we good? Are we done? Sorry to talk so much. Forgive me. I'm sorry.
No, we're done. It was a
All
good
right.
show. I enjoyed myself.
Thank you. We always enjoy having you. Always. Absolute pleasure. Hopefully someday sooner than later I can start paying you. I want to get everyone who's involved in this paid. I'm just right now, this economy sucks. It is not easy to get sponsors. We're trying. We're trying. And if any of you are interested, email us warriors24pod@gmail.com. Hit us up. We got some inventory space right now. Do not give up on advertising for your business. It is invaluable. It's the first thing that's cut from budgets in a recession. And multiple studies have overwhelmingly showed it is detrimental to your business. It is not the wise place to trim. But with that said, hopefully Sharia someday I'll be able to pay you and Armando and everyone else who's a part of this. I want to get Rick Barry back on a weekly basis and instead of just, once or twice a month like we're doing right now. But for the moment, strongly appreciate you. You've got it. You've got that it factor, girl. We love you. Are we all good? We done?
All good. See
Thank
you.
you, Sharia. Thanks, everybody. Back soon. Bye-bye.